Excuse me. What's going on, everybody? How we doing today? What's going on, OP? Hope you're doing all right. Doing all right myself. You know, it is a Friday. It is a Friday, so nice little end of the week stream as we usually would do. Um, so we've been playing through Postal. We've been playing through Postal. I've been having a good time with that. I don't know about you guys. All what looks like all two of you that are here. I haven't fallen off. I haven't fallen off. No way. Um, but yeah. Um, Sorry. I gotta figure something out here. I gotta figure out a way to regiment my day so that I can prepare a little bit better because before I went back to work, I had all this stuff that I would do. I'd plan like special streams and stuff like that, and I just don't do that anymore. I just don't fucking do that anymore because I don't have the time or the bandwidth. I have so many fucking things that I'm trying to handle all at once, and I don't talk about all of it. Every now and again, I'll let something slip about something that's going on, something that like I really am just like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna say something. I don't give a shit. Fuck it, I don't care. Who cares, dude? Who even cares, bro? Oh fuck, excuse me. Um, but like I've just it's really frustrating. It's really frustrating being the kind of guy that I am because like I take on way too many projects. I take on way too many projects. I end up doing way too much shit for way too many people, and because of that, I don't have time for myself, and that's really my fault. There's always going to be somebody who's like trying to get something out of you, you know. Um, and I gotta say no more, but also it's not always that like it's a one-sided thing, you know, like for instance me being the union steward at my work, right? I didn't just decide I was going to be a union steward because like they needed one and they were like, Scott, you'd be perfect, we need you, bud. It was also that I was like, okay, so if I'm the union steward, I know that I'm going to have a closer um I know that I'm going to have a closer relationship with the union, and because of that, it's probably going to be a little bit easier for me to not get in trouble for stupid shit that people should not be getting in trouble for, right? Like showing it's you're supposed to be here at 9 a.m. but you showed up at 9:04 and now we're going to bust your balls for it. Like that type of shit, you know, that type of bullshit. It's a lot easier. A lot easier. Um I just want to check something one sec. Oh, excuse me. And that's a huge reason as to why my streams have fallen off. I used to get between like 3 and 600 viewers total per stream, and now I'm lucky if I crack 200 before uh the first 24 hours that the VOD is up, right? And it really comes down to a couple of things, but the things that I specifically can control are the things like having stuff that people are gonna want to go out of their way to watch, right? You know, it's it's not anybody's fault but mine that I'm unable to do that stuff. So I got to get it all figured out. It's just frustrating now, you know. Oh, excuse me. Um, Hold on. Want to make sure I did something the right way. Oh, all right. Okay. All right. Okay. But yeah. Regardless, though. Regardless. Regardless. I'm here. All right. I'm here now. And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do our thing regardless. Regardless, that's the other thing too. Is that like I've been tired in my life, right? But I've never been the kind of tired that I am now, where like I literally can't sit in front of a computer. I can't fucking sit in front of a computer and talk to you guys without it being like trouble for me. You know, like I'm having trouble speaking to you guys sometimes to a point where I can feel it in my brain. You know when you get brain fuzz? Excuse me. You know when like you almost feel it in your brain that like when you're trying to remember something that you forgot, or maybe you like you hear a song and you're like, oh fuck, what's the name of the song? It's on the tip of my tongue. Fuck, like that kind of frustration. a lot of the time when I stream, the only time I don't really deal with this is on Sundays, and that's because Sunday, like the only thing I do that day is just stream. I just chill and then I stream and then I go back to chilling. I'm so fucked up that I just like any other day, even a Friday, which is a relatively easy day compared to the rest of my fucking time. I even now I'm like, anyway, how are you guys doing? I'm doing all right. I hope you're doing okay. Yeah, I really hope you guys are doing okay. I say that like five fucking times before I'm able to like collect myself enough to move on and be like, hey, here's what we're doing today. It's it's just fucking annoying, and I gotta get it all figured out. Pay attention to where your life is going. Pay attention to what direction your life is going in, because um it's real easy to make one decision at a time until you are in a situation where your day is just morning to night work, morning to night dealing with fucking morons, dealing with the kinds of people where like you're having, and I'm not saying this is me specifically, but like the kinds of people where you will be having a hard time paying for dinner or something like that. You won't have enough money in your account because like there's some issue with your job or some other thing that you do for money. You don't have money to pay for food, and somebody else is actually coming to you to be like, "Oh yeah, and you know what else? Fucking I stubbed my toe this morning." And this dude, it's so fucking stupid, man. Like the kinds of people who when you have problems, they don't have problems, and they're gonna tell you all about the fucking non-issues that are going on in their life. That's my life right now, is like um a bunch of people who they choose to allow themselves into situations where they get fucked over, um the type of shit where like someone starts a business and then they just decide they're not gonna like run that business type shit because they got bored of it and they want to run off and do this thing or that thing or some other thing and shit like that. It's just stupid. I'm just frustrated with life, and I'm kind of in a transitional period right now where I'm trying to move away from the frustration. And I just think about the last 5 years of my life, because from 2015 to about 2020, 2021, I was really, really happy, right? And if you listen to Sam, which pretty much all of you here right now, all 11 of you total who are here right now, you know me through Sam, I'm sure. Sam talks about, like, oh, what do you mean you need to be happy? You don't need to be happy. I agree, but I disagree. When people talk about happiness, I think what they really mean, what they mean a lot of the time is like sort of like a kind of like feminine whimsy almost, right? Like feminine whimsy, like um that type of happy, right? The type of happy I'm talking about is content. I'm content with life. I don't feel like I need that much more. My stress level is good. I feel like I'm heading in a direction that is going to be good for me, right? That's the kind of happiness that I feel. From 2015 to 2021 or so, I was like, okay, um, I'm confident that I'm headed in the right direction. And then slowly but surely, I started making decisions that, while at the time they were good decisions to make, they would end up forming into monstrosities that have like taken over my life. And I'm not just saying this to you guys because I'm like bitching and moaning or anything, right? I'm trying to turn this into a lesson, right? I'm trying to turn what I'm going through into a bit of a cautionary tale here, where it's like, hey, be really careful letting this person into your life. Hey, be really careful before you agree to do this thing. Hey, don't let this person pressure you into things. Hey, when you go into a situation and you say, all I'm gonna do is just uh, when you decide you're going to go into a bar and you only have one drink, that's what you decided on prior to. You don't let some fucking asshole sitting at the bar convince you to have two, right? Like that type of shit. um because that's why I'm so stressed out now, and that's why I hop on these and I can't fucking talk to you guys. I can't talk to you guys. I'm literally like brain mush. I I thought all day about the thing that I was going to be doing and saying to you guys, and now I'm here and I'm so tired that I'm like, yeah, so uh yeah, hope you guys are good. I'm doing all right. Are you guys doing all right? I hope so. Yeah, I always hope you're doing all right. Like it's not a good thing. I'm not in a good place right now, you know. I haven't been in a good place for a long time, and it has actually only gotten worse for me. I'm very good at not like trauma dumping about every little thing that's going on in my life, and it's not like I'm gonna break down and cry, but like I'm letting you guys know, like, hey, be real fucking careful because it'll happen without you even realizing, you know? It's really easy to identify how, like, if I start shooting up heroin, if I start using fucking fentanyl, you know, fentanyl. I never really learned how to say that word. Um, you know, it's real easy to identify what'll happen if I start doing fentanyl, right? I know that 5 years from now, if I'm still alive, I'm probably not going to be in a good place, right? But when you like take a new job, when you take a new job that pays higher and it has more consistent hours and more hours in general, you're not thinking, oh, dude, I might hate life 5 years from now. 5 years from now, I might hate life. You know, you're typically not thinking that. And I'm not telling you not to take opportunities that come your way. I'm just saying be very careful of a situation where you take that opportunity and then like either A, it runs its course and it's probably time for you to get out of there, or B, um it becomes a monster that is it becomes a parasite that is sucking the life force out of you, right? Um so yeah, there's that. Hey man, pretty drunk. Just dropping in to say hi. Gonna leave the tab open for a lurk for the rest of the night. God bless, brother. Thank you very much, Frozen Joe. Have a good one, man. Have a good one. What's going on, the Obi Kobe HD? How are you? Hope you're doing all right. I think a large part of the world are in a constant state of adrenaline dumping for some reason. Um, I'm not 100% sure what you mean by that, Cavalog. I'm not like completely and totally sure what you mean by that. I'm trying to figure out what you're trying to say. Do you mean like they're just in a constant state of like fear and stress and fight or flight? Because if that's the case, then um I could see where you would get that from. I could see where you would get that from. I do think there's a lot of people out there. It's kind of like rageaholics, you know. I could see that for sure. Um, I think there's that, and then there's also the guy who is kind of acting like iDubbbz acts, you know, the whole puppet master thing. Um, when it because there's a lot of people out there who are like iDubbbz. It's just iDubbbz was the only one who was foolish enough to say something to Sam at that one point, right? Not to talk too much about iDubbbz. I don't think I'm gonna be on Fish Tank again, and I don't think Sam's gonna need pad work anytime soon. So, um, I'm not as like nervous about the idea of, well, if I talk about iDubbbz and what if something happens from that, right? But like there's a lot of people who fancy themselves to be exactly like iDubbbz. iDubbbz is just the only one who is stupid enough to say something like that. So many people feel like they are the puppet masters in each situation and things like that. And really what it is that they're just like weird schizo fucking freaks, you know? They're always going into every situation thinking who's the alpha? Who's the alpha right now? Am I the alpha? I think I'm the alpha right now. I'm the alpha. I need to be the alpha. How can I get everybody here to recognize me as the alpha? And that's obviously like the reductionist right-wing Andrew Tate um explanation, right? But it's not just that either. Like iDubbbz, him calling himself the puppet master is his left wing way of basically trying to be like, I'm the alpha, you know? Calling himself a puppet master is like the Reddit version of calling himself an alpha, essentially, you know? because that's what a lot of Reddit people like think they are. If you've seen a lot of TV show slop, which I know you probably haven't, but there's a lot of TV show slop out there, where like there'll be a guy, he's got a gun pointed at a store clerk, and the main character walks in. Usually it's like a cop kind of show or something like that. Um, or maybe like a firefighter show or whatever it is, right? Dude's got a gun pointed at a store clerk, and he's like, "I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'll kill him. I'll kill him. I'll do it." Right? Um, and like the protagonist walks in, and he's like, "Hey, newsflash, buddy. You shoot him, you're going to jail for life, and you don't have any more leverage. So if you shoot him, then we're all going to shoot you. And that's going to paint this whole store a really ugly shade of red that's going to take everybody a long time to clean up. So why don't you do yourself a favor and put the gun down right now?" Like, I wanted to keep going. I wanted to keep going. But like that's a pretty good approximation, right? That's like the Reddit version of "I'm an alpha." Is like, I'm a puppet master through my snarky wit and my midwit intelligence that I mistake for like an extremely high intelligence a lot of the time. I'm going to tell the gun wielding maniac to put a gun to put the thing down, to put his only sense of leverage, his only means of leverage down, and he's gonna be like, "Oh, oh, okay." Like, there's a lot of people out there that are like that. So like, to what you're saying, Cavalog, I can kind of see, right? I can kind of see what you're saying. Oh, excuse me. And I think there's different versions of that, and I think that's another version is the puppet master. What's going on now? What's going on, White 26? I'm the alpha male in this chat. It's me. Well, we're gonna be taking an alpha male test. We're gonna be taking an alpha male dating test in a minute. So we'll see how much of an alpha you are compared to me. All right. Idubbbz cries himself to sleep every night, man. That's such a sad thing, man. Like the situation Idubbbz is in. It's a great example of what happens when you're on antipsychotics or like whatever the fuck it is, and instead of making you like extremely unstable, it just makes you depressed. You either don't feel a thing, or you feel way too much on those. There's no in between. There's no like leveling off of like, oh, my emotions are crazy, I need help, right? And the thing is, like, nobody needs those ever under any circumstances. There's literally zero reason to ever take any kind of SSRI, antipsychotic, anything like that, right? Unless it's maybe like a situation where you're like a schizophrenic or something like that. And like you are hearing voices, and you need the voices to stop. You need the delusions to stop. Um, Other than that, though, like the idea that like, oh, you're depressed, you need antipsychotics or SSRIs or antidepressants, whatever they're calling them nowadays. No, you fucking don't. You just need to learn to control your emotions. Because that's what it is at the end of the day. Is like the same way you learn not to throw tantrums. The same way you learn not to throw tantrums is the way that you're supposed to continue to learn how to act more and more throughout the entirety of your life. When you're a child, you don't get what you want, you throw a tantrum, you scream, you cry, you beat the floor, hell, maybe even start throwing punches at like mom or dad or another kid or something like that, right? It happens. And you get punished. You get punished. You slowly start to learn, after maturing a little bit, in addition to the punishment, that if you throw tantrums, you're not going to get what you want, so you can't fucking do that. And because of that, you learn not just to control your actions, but your emotions follow a little bit, right? Because throwing a tantrum is the pouring over of your emotions in the first place. It's not like the tantrum and your emotions are not two separate things. They're not mutually exclusive. They are mutually inclusive. I guess you could say, right? Um, but people like they just stop doing that eventually. They stop doing that. Some people they stop doing it earlier in their lives. Other people it's not even that they have poor emotional control. It's just that they have to fight, you know. That was my thing. That was my issue when I was a kid was I like I was forced on all these pills and things like that. I was forced on pills when I was a child that who only God knows what effect they had on me. I know a little bit of what they did to me, but like who knows how different I could be today if I didn't get put on those things, right? I might be a completely different guy today, which you could say that's a bad thing, a good thing, somewhere in between. It's just crazy to think that something like that, something that came out of a fucking pill bottle could have had that effect on me, right? To me that's insane to think about. But um I was put on these antidepressants and all this other shit when I was a kid because my mom specifically wanted to believe that I had some kind of emotional issues because I would lash out when I'm pushed. It's just like when like I didn't even know this was a thing up until recently, but in fact, you know what? You know what? Let's let's go ahead, right? Let's go ahead. Aggression testing in dogs. Yeah. So I don't want to do the National Geographic one. I don't want to potentially get copyright claimed for some stupid shit. But like we're going to see, right? I'm looking for one specific. I'm looking for uh I don't know if they're yeah, no. I don't know if they're going to hmm, yeah. Looks like that dog passed. Um I'm looking for one specific kind of test, right? That I saw in this video. And you know what? Let's just go ahead. Let's just go ahead, right? Um. mm, 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 So what we have here, okay, is a dog eating food, and look at this fucking thing, right? You're gonna see.
At the top of his head and see how he reacts.
As a safety precaution, Chrissy uses a dummy
So
hand.
here's this dog just trying to enjoy his meal,
He is allowing us to do that.
right?
He's growling as he's going. Growl. All right, that's a warning.
You
See how
see,
you're.
there was a little bit of a growl.
Okay.
You see what's going on here, right? You see what fucking happened there, right? Like that's what a lot of children go, and that's what I went through when I was a kid. Was like you're just trying to chill, you're just trying to do your thing, you're just trying to live your life, and there's some fucking guy who's like, "Hey, let me harass you with a plank of wood with a hand attached to the end of it." And that dog is supposed to be in the wrong somehow for being upset at that, right? Why don't you not fuck with the dog in the first place? That's a shitty aggression test. And I'm sure this is National Geographic. It was that we were watching. It was supposed to be a TV show, so I'm sure there's some aspect of that was played up for the camera. Like I'm sure dog trainers probably look at that and they're like, "What the fuck are they doing? That's such a dumb test. There's better ways to do it." But it perfectly illustrates what I went through as a child and what a lot of people go through as a child. Your parents, specifically your mother, not saying dads don't do it too, but especially women love to do this to their kids. They love to push and push and push and push and push. Push buttons. They love to get on their sons, especially their sons' nerves. And then when their son's like, dude, fuck off. What are you doing, you psycho bitch? Get away from me, dude. When they lash out in that way, all of a sudden it's, oh, I think he might have some behavioral issues. Maybe he's got ADHD. I think he might have ADHD. I'm gonna go get him medical grade methamphetamine. We're gonna get my son put on fucking amphetamines is what we're gonna do. You know? It's like fucking A, dude. I'm sure they're probably trying to do the whole "I'll change your life by raising the dog's bull off the ground," which reducing his dominance game they do, but that was outright annoying a dog. Yeah, yeah, they were just like, "Hey, let's fuck with this dog," and then be like, when fucking when it gets annoyed, you know? It's like, holy shit. Uh, have had to grow into my mid 20s before I learned emotional regulation and how to be an adult. Yeah, yeah. My mother would have had a quote unquote nervous breakdown if she admitted I had problems when I was a teenager. I'd probably be better off, though. Um, have had to grow into my mid 20s before I learned emotional regulation and how to be an adult. I mean, I don't know about your specific situation there, gay guy. Beats the hell out of me what you were going through, but um, I think what it really comes down to is the choice, because I mean, you said it yourself, like you had to grow into your mid 20s, and it's like, well, I mean, you're kind of saying it right there. You had in your 20s, you had to like sit down and be like, all right, maybe I need to change. Maybe I need to change things, you know? And that's what parents are supposed to do, is push you to make positive changes. But uh this world that we live in, these boomers that raised us, the millennial generation specifically, and Gen X, because Gen X is a weird one where they were kind of raised by boomers, and millennials were also raised by boomers. Um, like we were probably the two most medicated generations um, in history, and I don't know how bad it was for Gen Z, but I do know it was bad for them too. Gen A, you're seeing a lot less of that from what I can tell. You're seeing a lot less of that because the millennials grew up and they're like, yo, I still have nerve damage from the Adderall, you know? Fucking I still have gynecomastia from the Risperdal that I was given because I didn't want to do my homework. I left the peanut butter out a few too many times, and because of that, my mom shoved Adderall down my throat. That's literally what happened with me. Not quite literally, but like after I was given all these ridiculous and incorrect and untrue diagnoses throughout my entire life by doctors who were just trying to say the right thing so that my mom would give them more money. Um, my mom wanted to bring me to a doctor to get tested for ADHD. And when she brought me to the doctor was like, "So, what's the deal? Why do you want to get him tested? Like what's going on here?" And she's like, "Oh, well, I just notice sometimes he leaves the peanut butter out when he makes a sandwich." And thank God it was a real doctor. Thank as much as I don't trust real doctors, thank God it was a real doctor, because even real doctors fucking crack up at that psychology, that psychiatry bullshit. Even real doctors, as quacky as they can be at times about a bunch of shit, even they know the psychiatry and the psychology field is like a crock of shit. He literally was like, yeah, so it just sounds like he's a regular 15-year-old boy. I don't think that is going to require any kind of medication. I think he just has a hard time putting the peanut butter away because he's probably focused on eating his sandwich because he's hungry and he's a teenager, so he's not thinking, "Hey, I better put the peanut butter away." Like it's fucking insane. Women ruin children a lot of the time. Like you can say what you want about like abusive dads and stuff like that. An abusive dad is like terrible. I would never wish an abusive dad on anybody. I kind of had one of those too, but um, like abusive mothers are something completely and totally different. Where like it just it's even worse. The millennial generation is the first generation that was raised like primarily by women, and we are one of the most fucked up, degenerate like groups of people. We're the generation that introduced and pushed like teaching fifth graders about butt sex and things like that. Like we are the generation that did that. um and it's awful, it's terrible. I can see why the Zoomers and Gen A fucking hate us, and I don't blame them. I hate us too. We fucking suck. I was born in the wrong generation. I was born in the wrong generation. Bro, you know nothing about psychology. Yeah, neither do the fucking psychologists. Those guys are idiots. Fucking Freud was a literal coke fiend. The father of psychology was a coke fiend who prescribed cocaine as a magical cure all for like everything. You could go to him, you could be like, "Oh man, I have an ingrown fingernail. Dude, I want you to go through 1 8-ball a week. 1 8-ball a week, bro." It's like, holy fuck, man. That shit's insane, you know? Do people with ADHD and autism just need more reinforcement to adjust to life? Yes. Yes, that's exactly what it is, you know? Autism isn't real. Autism is not real. ADHD is not real. They're not things. Like, if you ignore the diagnosis and just tell your son, hey, act normal, he'll start acting normal. All of these behaviors are learned behaviors, either because A, someone told him, hey, it's okay for you to do this, or B, he learned through implication, meaning he fell over. Right. I see this in kids every now and again at my jujitsu class, right? Fucking I was thinking, should I finish the point that I was on, or should I just start telling the story? Basically, kids either learn through direct means, meaning like, hey, do this, here's how you do it, or they learn through the implied acceptance or tolerance or reinforcement of a behavior, right? And a good example of this is when a child falls over and he gets a laugh from his mom or his dad. Maybe there's some kind of what is perceived to be positive reaction to it. And because of that, he keeps on falling over. And because of that, he turns into a klutz. Not because he's truly, like, actually fucking clumsy or anything like that, but because he sees he's getting a positive reaction, and because of that, he's falling over. And we literally just lost a kid in my jujitsu class. He died. I'm kidding. He didn't actually fucking die. That would have been awful. That'd be terrible, you know. Jokes aside though, fucked up jokes aside. Um like, we lost a kid in our jujitsu class. He hasn't been back for a couple of weeks, and I don't know if he's ever gonna come back. It wouldn't surprise me if fucking his mom comes in and cancels his membership, right? He is a good kid. I love the hell out of him, you know. But he had this thing where he would fall over on purpose. He would either fall over on top of people as like a haha, I just body slammed you, but not even in like a legit like body slam kind of way, like literally like, oops, oh, I tripped and oh man, I fell on you. Haha. He would fall like that, or he would just fall in general. And I told him straight to his face one day. I was like, look, pal, falling over is not funny. You need to stop falling over. And he sits here and he denies it. He got a little shy. He's like, oh, I'm not doing it on purpose. But I can tell he's doing it on purpose because he's falling over and then he's looking around to see if anybody noticed and if anybody's laughing, and he's also laughing about it, right? He's deciding that he's going to be a class clown in probably the worst way. It's not even like funny. It's just making a fool of himself, and he thinks that if he's laughing, that means people are laughing with him, but the reality is people are laughing at him and he's just laughing, you know? And sure enough, right, a couple of weeks ago, we're doing sprints. We do sprints, right? Kid runs down, runs back, and instead of just stopping, he decides he's going to fall face first. That's the way he's going to stop. He ends up falling. He hurts his arm. He didn't break it or anything like that, but, you know, he probably hit it in a way that it hurt. And he sat there crying for like a little under 5 minutes. And he actually said out loud to his mom, who would come over, I don't want to do jujitsu anymore. And it's like, fucking A. Like, nobody is telling this kid, hey, don't fall over, bro. Don't fucking fall over. Stop it. And because of that, he's continuing to fall over. Because I'm the only one who is saying, hey, that's not good what you're doing. And sure enough, he fucking fell over and he got hurt. And now he doesn't want to do jujitsu because he thinks that jujitsu is pain, instead of realizing that he should probably just not be like tripping on purpose, you know? How old was this kid? He was probably like 9 years old, maybe 10 years old, somewhere around there. Is it nonverbal mental affliction? Because that's what it used to mean. It doesn't mean that anymore. Yeah, like, and that's the other thing too, but is like that's one of the main ways you should know that the psychological field is a crock of shit, you know, is because there is constantly changing everything. Everything is constantly changing, and it's not just changing because they're finding new data that like makes it so that a wider net or like a wider umbrella is a better way to like classify this thing or that thing. It's changing because they know that if they widen the umbrella, they can make more money, because instead of just treating someone like if you specialize in ADHD, and you only are going to be treating people who are hyperactive, they have a hyperactive disorder. Well, I mean, yeah, sure, that's money, but what if you could also treat people who have anger issues? Maybe you should add anger issues under the umbrella that is ADHD. So instead of ADHD being this big now, well, it's that big now. And then maybe you add depression to it too. ADHD people have depression too. So now the umbrella is that big. And soon you have a situation where ADHD means literally anything and everything. It basically loses all meaning, because when you say ADHD, it's like, well, what kind of ADHD are you talking about? Are you talking about the depression ADHD, the bipolar ADHD, the schizophrenia ADHD, the restless leg syndrome ADHD? Which ADHD are you talking about? Which kind of ADHD are you talking about? That's what ends up happening every single fucking time to all of these things, you know? And then if it's not that, it's usually a little bit of both for these things, but if it's not that first one that I said, fucking, it's that they figured out they were wrong, and instead of doing what the scientific method dictates you're supposed to do, which is fucking tweak the hypothesis or scrap it completely, they just go, no, so you know what this means? So you know what this actually means? I'm not wrong. I just didn't realize how right I was. That's what it is. It's not that I was incorrect. I was right the whole time. I just didn't realize I was more right. It's like, fucking A, dude. You know? This guy is discrediting psychology while at the same time trying to use it to back up his arguments. I'm not using psychology to back up my arguments. I'm just calling psychology fucking stupid because it's a crock of shit. You know? Very clearly made up bullshit. Just as a grift for overeducated losers to try and make money off of you, you know? Just for overeducated losers to bill your insurance. You know, and it's funny too. I'm not calling you a leftist, Barack Obama. Everybody knows Barack Obama is actually a based and red-pilled right-winger. Barack Obama is a based and red-pilled right-winger, is what he is. He's a Chatelet-based Kekerino National Socialist is what he is. Barack Obama, everybody. I'm not, but jokes aside, I'm not calling you a leftist or anything like that. But even the left used to understand this. Like, I can remember listening to Serge Tankian's first solo album, and the Unthinking Majority talks about how antidepressants are used to make you think that life is actually not that bad when it fucking is. You know, I think it you know, antidepressants, controlling tools of your system, making life more tolerable. And, you know, he says it again, right? But, yeah, it's just fucking stupid, you know? Stupid as hell. No wonder Big Mike is leaving you. Oh, man. Prescriptions make money. You get prescriptions when you're sick. Classify everyone as sick. Exactly, you know? You, like, it's if you go to a psychologist or a psychiatrist really, that thinks he is doing the right thing, what's going to happen is you're going to go in and you're going to be like, I think I'm depressed. And he's going to go, oh, why do you think you're depressed? And you're going to say, I'm angry all the time. And instead of him diagnosing you with depression, he's going to find something else that he can diagnose you with, right? He probably thinks he's doing the right thing. He probably thinks there's nothing wrong with what he's doing, and he's just doing what he's supposed to be doing. You're telling him there's something wrong, and he's trying his best to diagnose you. But sorry, I'm just trying to find something real quick. I gotta make sure I get the thing with the stuff. What the fuck, man, dude. I hate the X desktop so much. It's so annoying to it's so annoying to do anything here. All right, cool. Like I think somebody who is trying their best to be as honest as they possibly can be, if they are a psychiatrist or psychologist or a whatever, right? If you go to them and you say, I think I have depression, and then you describe your symptoms, they might not say, yes, you are depressed, but they'll find something else to diagnose you with. In their head, they're not misdiagnosing you. They're diagnosing you with something that to them is legitimate. But you're never going to get somebody who sits down with you and is like, oh, hey, I don't think there's actually anything wrong with you. I just think your life sucks and you have a right to be upset about it. You know? You're never going to get a psychiatrist who is like, look, I could give you pills if it came down to it, but I really think your life is just bad. I think your life is bad. I think that just is what it is. You're never going to get that. You're never going to get a psychiatrist who turns down the money. You're always going to get him in a you're always going to get him or her, and they're gonna be like, oh well, what I could do, what I could do for you is this because I think you have that, you know. In my opinion, doctors are just drug dealers that pay taxes. Oh yeah, that's exactly what it is. You know, I have a bulge disc in my neck, and that bulge disc spread, right? Like the issues stemming from the bulge disc spread down my shoulder to a point where at one point I couldn't bend all the way like that. I could only bend like that far down, right? Also down to like my sciatic nerve, right? It went all the way down my back, and it also spread down my arm into my forearm and my hand to a point where I couldn't pick things up at my work. And because of that, I had to go out of work for 4 months. And I'm sitting here trying to tell these doctors, I know exactly what it is. I know exactly what it is, and the only thing that they are doing is trying to prescribe me fucking muscle relaxers and other pills and shit like that. That's the only thing they tried to do. There was my regular doctor, my primary care was like, hey, you can do some physical therapy, but also here's some fucking pills to throw at it too. You know, it was so ridiculous. They send me to a fucking orthopedic who looks at an X-ray, which if you don't know, X-rays only look at bones. They don't look at tissue. He's looking at the X-ray to try and determine if I have a tissue problem, a tissue issue, if you will. And when he doesn't see anything wrong with my the tissue, he's like, oh, well, I don't see anything there. I mean, you can have some muscle relaxants. We'll give some lidocaine, too. I don't think you need to be out of work. I had to, fight this guy to get a fucking note to let me, not work for a while so that I could actually focus on fixing the issue, They're just, a lot of doctors are just fucking losers, dude. It's so frustrating having to deal with them. They don't shut up for long enough to listen to what you're saying. You start explaining the problem. You know what's going on. You know exactly what's going on because you've done the research on your own, and you know what your body is. You know what's going on with your body. So you walk in, you sit down, and you're like, yeah, so I got some issues. It's kind of like the neck, the shoulder. All right, the shoulder. What is it? Is it when you touch it? When you move it? It sounds like this. Like they let you get 2 words in before they start trying to tell you about yourself, and it's like, just shut up, shut the fuck up, dude. You know? It's like, holy fuck. Will AI revolutionize the medical industry? You know what? It wouldn't surprise me if it does. It really wouldn't surprise me if it does. I don't think that'd be the worst thing in the world. You know, because like a lot of these doctors are just fucking googling shit anyway. You know, they a lot of them are just fucking useless, dude. You know, medical malpractice is a bigger killer of people than guns in America. Like, think about that. Medical malpractice, doctors not doing what they're supposed to be doing, kills more people than guns in the country that is known for mass shootings and shit like that. What the fuck, man? You know? What the fuck, man? What the fuck, man? You are fucking? You are fucking? Bloody bastard bitch. But, oh, I got a message. Got to see the message. All right. Okay. My boy Taylor hit me up. I don't think he realizes I'm streaming. I'm streaming to a whole 32 people. 10 of them are on Twitter, which means probably none of them, because Twitter just gives you the amount of viewers total. Gives you the amount of viewers total, right? Oh, hold on. We're gonna see if we can speak in this.
At best, I would say it's lukewarm.
Never mind. I thought Pearl was hosting a space. I didn't know it was a stream. I would have, if it was a space, we would have jumped in there and we would have been talking. But anyway, I have to. All right. Sorry, I'm just So do you think the entire medical field is a heap of crap? Most of it, yeah. And when I say most of it, obviously I don't mean things like, oh, you have a broken arm, you need to fucking like put a cast on it and stuff like that. But there's so many people who they don't get the care that they need, myself included, because doctors are just like lazy with it, you know? Because they're overeducated and they're under socialized. They aren't capable of speaking to people because instead of spending their lives becoming people, you know, people persons, they decided to spend their lives learning about the shin bone, the hip bone connected to the leg bone, the leg bone connected to the shin bone, or whatever, however that fucking song went, right? They decided to bury their head in books, which, okay, fine, if that's what it takes to become a doctor, it's all good. You know, you got to do your thing. You want to be a doctor, you know, I don't blame you one bit. It's all good, bro. But that doesn't give you a right to like try and tell me you don't think I need to stay out of work. You get to hang out in a fucking air-conditioned office all day, like typing on a computer. Meanwhile, you're telling me, someone who actually has to put his back into his living, that he doesn't have to stay out of work because you don't see a bone injury. Meanwhile, I can't bend my fucking arm like further than this. And there's weakness when you do those physical tests and things like that, you know? That guy was such a fucking bitch. Fuck that guy, dude, you know? That orthopedic surgeon that I spoke to, fucking asshole, dude. You know, there's just way too much bullshit. There's just way too much bullshit, you know. All right, so we're gonna take a look here. We're gonna take a look. Do you think your experience could be more of an effect of the profit-seeking healthcare system we currently have versus the individual? I mean, I think it's probably a couple of different things. Like I said, I don't think people become doctors for altruistic reasons. I think maybe more people become doctors for altruistic reasons than say like cops. But a lot of people only become doctors because they are going for an ego boost plus a six-figure salary. I really think that's what it is. Either that or maybe they were pushed to do so by like an Indian or maybe a Chinese mother and father, right? Happens a lot. There's a reason why a lot of them happen to be Indian. It's just a fact. It's just a fact. A lot of them, they end up being tiger moms, and because of that, they push their sons and daughters to become doctors, right? Um, I think that the amount of people who become doctors just because they want accolades and a high paying salary is greatly outstripping the amount of people that become doctors because they want to actually truly 100% help people, right? And then in addition to that, there is a lot of for-profit bullshit, but the thing is, they know that you have insurance in the first place, so that shouldn't that shouldn't affect the care that they give you insofar as like listening to what is like being said to you, right? One of the bullshit things that they'll do is, again, knowing that it's not going to be you but your insurance company, they'll order a ton of tests that you don't even need just so they can bill the insurance, right? There's a lot of fuckery, and I don't think going on a socialized healthcare plan or whatever you want to call it is going to fix those problems, because I think that one, socialized medicine has its own problems, right? When you literally have people who are being told, yeah, you're going to die because you're old and we want to save these resources for younger people, right? You're like 65 and you're getting told you're going to die because there's some like 20-year-old, you know? Meanwhile, your kid is like 25 and you're like, I can't wait to be a grandkid, right? As much as I can't stand boomers, as much as I could go on twice as long about boomers as I have this topic right here, um like it's still, I don't want people to fucking die, you know? There's issues with healthcare in general because it's some snake who is like, he thinks he's fucking Stalin, you know? Either that or he thinks because he went to school for 8 years, that means he's like got something over you and things like that. Like he knows your body better than you do. You can tell him, hey, I have a bulge disc in my neck, and because of that, I'm getting migraines, and it's also pulling on all the other fucking muscles here that is causing that. And instead of him just taking your word for it, he wants to run tests and give you fucking painkillers, you know? It's just the dumbest thing. You know, it's just the dumbest thing. Um, anyway, so we have here the realchatmove.com. I stumbled upon this the other day, and I've been sitting on it for a few weeks now, and I just remembered it, so we're gonna take a look at it. There's I don't know what the hell this is supposed to be. There's something about this that reminds me of an ad from like 2007, 2008. This has like a 2007 nick.com kind of feel, with like the very clearly either AI or artist depiction of a cityscape, and then like what appears to be like a real guy who is superimposed into this, who's copy pasted into this, right? um the most base dating advice on the internet. This site is for men who seek a happy, fulfilling, long-term relationship with a woman. No gays allowed. It is 100% free because the truth should always be free. And straight. No gays. Fucking take the quiz now. 16 questions to see how much brainwashing you have and how you compare to your competition. Wimps, macho boys, and guys with big egos will never take this quiz. It's your move. If I was a wimp, fucking, I would be given to the feminine shaming that you're doing. Like, and like this is I'm not like I could really give a shit about this. Like, whoever did this, they're doing their thing. Hey, good luck to you. good luck to you, C. Smith, the man who copyrighted this, right? He updated the copyright only 6 days ago. 6 days ago, he updated the copyright. Wow, good for him. What was I gonna say? Like whatever. Do your thing, bro. It's all good. You know, I don't care. But that's the issue with a lot of this like modern day alpha male bullshit, and I'm so glad it's starting to die off. It's a bunch of feminine men who are trying to act like they're masculine via feminine shaming. Like I can remember we were getting kicked out of a house that I was living in, right? It was me, my wife, my sister-in-law, and a friend of hers. And there was just like a complete shit show that I wasn't even aware of half of it, right? Because it's Brazilians talking to Brazilians in fucking Portuguese. I'm just the gringo who's like coming home from work every day thinking everything's all good, but it's not, you know? Fucking... And, like, we're out on the front porch talking to the landlady because the landlady actually lived basically in the same building. It was like two houses that were conjoined, right? We walk out onto the front porch and we're just sitting here, like, talking about it and stuff like that. And my wife she's translating for me. And this lady is saying some shit that's just unfair. I don't even remember exactly what it was. So I sit there and I'm like, well, ma'am, please, ma'am, like, you can't be telling people this. I remember what it was. She was trying to say that we had to be out the next day. If you're getting kicked out of a place in the state of Massachusetts, it doesn't matter who broke the lease. It doesn't matter if there was even a lease break in the first place. You have to at least give 30 days notice. Be like, hey, you need to be out in 30 days. She wanted us to leave the very next fucking day. And I tried to be like, no, ma'am, that's not how it works. In this state, we have 30 days to vacate. All right, we're gonna take those 30 days. We needed all 30 days. We didn't find another place to. I was almost homeless. You know, this is a few months before I met Sam. I was almost fucking homeless. But I told her, like, we have 30 days. We'll be out of here in 30 days. You don't got to worry about that. But you're not gonna tell us to get out of here tomorrow. And she literally sat there like, you are not being a man right now. You need to man up. You need to be a man. You're not being a man right now. And it's like, oh, I'm not being a man because I'm not allowing you to walk all over me? Yeah, fucking sure, lady, you know? And this is the same exact thing right here. Is like, dude, if you're a wimp, you won't take this. It's like, oh, well, now I don't want to fucking take it because I'm not going to let some pussy who wears suits try and tell me what a real man is. Shut up, C. Smith. Shut up, Smith. Quiet down. Anyway, but yeah. Yeah, I got red as well. White would be ruined instant. What? You guys are talking about you guys talking about clothing? No way, says Sensei Scott. Why don't you live in your dojo? Because that's where the owner of my dojo lives. Excuse me, jeez. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna start this quiz. Yeah, suits are dishonest. You see, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'd like to own a nice suit one day. It'd be real nice to own a nice suit. But like, having a suit to wear as a status symbol in the everyday, in the same way that you have like rappers with their Lamborghinis and their Gucci belts and shit like that, that's cringe as fuck, you know? That's cringe as fuck. I don't like that, you know? Anyway, you know, dressing like you want to be one of the dudes from Peaky Blinders every single day. Like, get the fuck out of here, you know? They're even making cigars, dumb. It's like, fuck. Anyway, ghosting. Which one of the common reasons a woman ghosts a man which is one of the common reasons a woman ghosts a man instead of explaining what behavior turned her off? Ghosting means not responding to any communication as a way of ending a relationship. She hates men. She doesn't want retaliation or harassment. She has bad manners. She has bad manners. She forgot what you did. It could be any of these. I mean, it could be any of these. You know, she forgot what you did, I would assume means like, she forgot what you did, meaning she forgot what behavior turned her off. She's just turned off now. I mean, it could be any of these, you know? Like, there's so many women out there who they clearly have hang-ups about men, whether they're like understandable or not, but because they're just not into girls, they date men still, you know, and they take everything out on the guys that they're dating. She doesn't want retaliation or harassment. Honestly, I mean, kind of, but the thing is with this, like, you know, ghosting a guy, like if a guy is going to retaliate or harass, it's going to be because he was going to do that no matter what. Like whether you ghosted him, whether you let him down easy, whether you sent the mafia to his house to shake him down, he was going to do it no matter what, you know. So I wouldn't say it's this. She has bad manners. I mean, regardless, yeah. She forgot what you did. I'm down to these two. Tommy Peaky Blinders, a local. Seen him getting haircuts a few times. His real style is shite. That's funny. You should go over to him and start quoting shit from Peaky Blinders. I'm sure he'd love that. Cavalog. If you went up to him and you're like, by order of the Peaky Blinders. Haha, what's going on, Cillian? How you doing, bud? And give him a nice slap on the back. A nice flat palm 5-star. Haha, what's going on, pal? How's it going? Tommy Shelby, Peaky Blinders. Haha, loved you in that, bro. Fucking, I'm sure he'd love that, dude. Women live in constant fear for their lives. They're neurotic. Yes. Oh, yes, 100%. And actually, I was telling you guys about my landlady. The way that conversation with her ended was she called the police on me. And I got scared shitless for a second. You know why? Because the cop that showed up was a female. She called the cops and a female cop came out. And it was only one cop. I think they kind of realized it was a crock of shit. I think they realized I think they realized it was bullshit because they only sent one cop out and they didn't send her out like sirens on, like, you know, roll up onto the front lawn, dive out the car with the fucking gun ready to go. Like, she called the police and then like 15 minutes later, a single female cop rolls up. She walks up to the door, knocks on it. You know, my wife is kind of like low-key freaking out. I can kind of see it in her eyes. And the door was already open. It was just the screen door. So I was like, oh, hey, what's going on? Like, come on in. Which you never want to do that with a cop. But in this case, I was like, whatever. I'm trying to show her that I'm friendly and that I'm not the problem here. So I kind of broke that rule. I invited her in. And then, like, No, it was a pizza. I forgot what I had, but I offered her some food again as sort of a gesture of like, "Hey, I'm not the fucking problem here. I'm a nice guy. I'm a nice guy. Okay, I'm not like those jerks. I'm a nice guy. I'm the kind of guy you probably wish you had, right, officer? Right, Officer Tabitha? Right, Officer Samantha? I'm a nice guy. I'd treat you right. But yeah, anyway, like, she realized what was going on right away. I was just like, yeah, fucking, I don't know. She was just being weird. And I called her neurotic. And that's why she called the police on me, is because I was like, look, you're kind of neurotic, you know that? And then she went back into her house, and that's when she called. And it was like, holy fuck, way to prove me right. That's insane, you know? But anyway, I'm gonna do bad manners. Although this is that alpha male shit, so like I guarantee you they're gonna be like, no, the right answer was she hates men, right? It could be both, but I mean, whether she hates men or not, she definitely has bad manners. You see, oh, okay, all right. She doesn't want retaliation or harassment. Would you like to tell someone stronger or more aggressive than you how and when they screwed up? What would you gain from doing this? How is the risk versus reward beneficial? Well, I mean, I really don't know. I really don't care, you know? I mean, Sam's stronger than me, you know, and I've gone to him like, hey man, like, I don't think it was cool that this happened. I've done that before, you know? So I don't know. Maybe it's just me there. Maybe it's just me, right? You shouldn't roll your eyes at the term women's intuition because it is very real. It means, unlike men, women can't coast through life without anticipating physical dangers, like not parking near a light pole at night. When they sense danger, most women don't want a one on one fight. This is perfectly logical and makes evolutionary sense. And you see, this is one of those things where it's like we just kind of got done talking about that, where like a lot of women are very neurotic, right? And a lot of their political theory comes from that neurosis, right? The neuroticism, I think, is a better way to define it, describe it. But this is one of those situations where it's like men are actually the primary victims of violence in general. You know, the only kind of violence that women experience more than men is domestic violence, and even then the numbers are skewed because domestic violence against men is not recorded or taken seriously in the way that domestic violence against women is, as it should be. Domestic violence of any kind is disgusting, right? Men's domestic violence, meaning woman on man domestic violence, should be taken more seriously, just like man on woman domestic violence is. But it's one of those things where it's like, it's just weird, unfounded, like, shit, you know? The whole women's intuition thing, I do roll my eyes at it, even though I do agree mostly with this statement, because that women's intuition is really just, like, an unfounded fear of somebody who, like, 9 times out of 10, if you just tell them, hey, I really didn't appreciate this thing, it's like, oh, well, all right, whatever, Getting rejected hurts and emotions are high. Some men, when dumped, are more worried about their fragile ego and harass the woman to save face. Only a few would be introspective, change their behavior, and most importantly, move on to the next woman. The worse your behavior was, the more likely you will be ghosted for it because she assumes you won't seriously listen. And, excuse me, like, this is the tough thing about dating and stuff like that, because it's one of those situations where, like, there's no right answer, and whenever somebody tries to say there's a right answer, it usually is the wrong answer. This is one of those situations where it's like a guy who thinks he's an alpha male totally, but really he's just like a male feminist in disguise, and I'm not saying that to be like literal or anything like that, but this is a very, like, this is the type of shit that you would hear from women, right? They would say, like, oh, well, we don't tell guys things because they get their little egos get hurt. Their little egos get hurt, and because of that, they stalk us and this, that, the other thing. And it's like, fucking who though? Like, does it happen? Yeah, it happened to me with my wife. When my wife came here, there was an ex that was stalking her, and that guy tried to come at me in a couple of different ways. When I go to Brazil, if I happen to bump into him, I'm gonna have a nice long talk with him. I'm gonna give him a big hug, maybe a handshake, pat on the back, high five. We'll see what happens. We'll see what I'm in the mood for. Obviously it happens, but it's just giving women license for bad behavior. And it's just foolish. You only get one shot per woman per lifetime. Even if a woman told you how you screwed up, her first impression was what mattered, and it set the tone of the relationship for life. This is another common reason a woman may ghost you. It ensures she never goes back because she won't listen to anything you say. Weapons. All right, let's see what this is. Keep in touch is womanese for please throw my number away. Doc Love. I've never had a woman say keep in touch ever. That's such a weird thing. Unlike men who are blunt and direct, women avoid saying things directly and prefer womanese language, white lies and euphemisms, manipulative words, acting, concealment, and spreading rumors are women's weapons of survival, not their fists. If a woman gives you a reason why she's not interested, 99.9% of the time, it will be a white lie or a whopper. A whopper, like the classic, it's not you, it's me. Never heard that from a woman before. Again, this is easily explained by conflict avoidance. It's dangerous to hurt a man's ego. A woman can give you her phone number without being interested because she can't say the no word. And, like, you see, the issue that I have with this, right, is not in the upfront. It's not what is being presented to you up front, okay? My issue with this is that it is the, I had the word a second ago, the intellectualization. It's the intellectualization. It is the over analyzing. It is the wholesale writing off of men and women in a way that is almost inhuman, where you have situations where, yes, this type of stuff does go down. I'm not going to argue that it does not go down. However, it feels less like they're describing the reality, which is not this. Even if there is a maladaptive pattern that somebody has, it's not usually as bad as this, what is being described. It's just a weird way to kind of commodify people and put them in boxes that don't really fit them, that they don't really fit into completely and totally. And it excuses bad behavior from women, and it shames you into accepting that bad behavior, you know, if it makes sense. No, you shouldn't expect people to treat you properly. You should just allow women to act like shit, because that's what they, I guess, evolutionarily are supposed to do. It's totally cool. It's totally cool. Let women lie. Women just lie. They just lie. You know, it's what they do. It's all good. It's okay. That's all right. Women lie. All women lie. Women lie. They do that. That's what they do. And you shouldn't be concerned with the fact that they lie. You should just be concerned with the fact that you can get one of these liars to latch on to you for a little while, and you can get married to her or whatever. Whatever the end goal of this is supposed to be, right? It's just weird, you know? Anyway, the truth is here. If you're like most men, including myself, you will have learned many wrong ideas from pop culture media, friends, classmates, or family, and heaven forbid, 4chan. Uh-oh. And women won't tell you what you've been doing wrong. Frustrating, right? But it is not bad manners for a woman to decline to be a free relationship coach. Even if she tried, it would be like patching holes in a ship with duct tape. She won't know how to reforge you like I do. Shut the fuck up. Shut up, dude. Women are better off not knowing the information in this book. Oh, and here we are. He's trying to sell us a book, is what he's doing. He's trying to sell us a book. This quiz is designed to undo your brainwashing, but be warned, many will not finish it. In fact, the next two questions are designed to weed out plenty of you. And again, here's that female. This is like the alpha male version of, if you can't accept me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best, is like what this is supposed to be. Sex. Fucking regardless if a woman has low, medium, or high sex drive, which approach sets up the relationship for long-term success. Having sex as soon as possible, waiting as long as possible to have sex. Fucking here's a fact: many women would love to do some chasing in a relationship, but most men don't give them the chance. Ever since, he's trying to say make her wait, which is a funny move. Ever since a girl reached puberty, boys have been smothering her with sexual interest like a horny dog. If you do it too, it's boring for her and does not set you apart. I don't disagree. For 25% of the party girl women who have high sex drives, rushing into sex shows that you are like every other guy. There's no anticipation, no curiosity, no challenge. You're setting yourself up as a boy toy, not marriage material. These women are also a higher cheating and divorce risk, especially if they have a high body count. For the 75% of women who have lower sex drives than the average man, pressuring for sex shows you lack self-control or have no standards. You aren't interested in knowing who she really is. You're just looking for a warm masturbation doll. You can easily tell which type of woman you are dating based on how often, if ever, she brings up the topic of sex and mistakes and makes innuendos, or jokes. Oh, dude, I ain't reading all that, bro. Fuck it. Bottom line, like, yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing to not have sex at the front of your mind when entering into a relationship. Obviously, like that's a good thing that you're able to exercise that temperance, that self-control, right? But you know, hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. I really, if I wanted to read all this, I would, but I just genuinely don't want to read all this. It's fucking, you know, it's stupid as hell, you know. Undervalue. Which attribute do most men undervalue in a woman? Looks, figure, intelligence, and character. Let me guess. Oh, wow. Beauty fades, but attitude is forever. Nagging and arguing are twin sisters, says Doc Love. And, alright, that's not the absolute worst. If life were an RPG, most men would max out a woman's hotness and forget to put any points in intelligence or character. This is dumb because men and women both need balanced attributes to thrive in this world. And again, this is just kind of that same shit where it's like most guys that I know, most guys that I have ever met in my life, and this is myself included, like, yes, we appreciate like a very attractive woman, but if she annoys the fuck out of us, we can't be around her. Like literally, I'm gonna do something here. I'm gonna do something here, right? I'm not sure if I'm gonna do something here. I'm gonna figure it out. This is what I'm gonna do. Okay, just give me a second. I just got to see if I can find something real quick. Okay. All right. Fuck. Actually, you know what? I will do it that way. I will do it that way. I'm gonna show you one of the most annoying girls that I have ever been on a date with, okay? I'm gonna show her to you. I just have to. I wanna make sure I fuck with the. I wanna make sure I fuck with the. And you guys won't even believe me. You guys won't even believe me. You're gonna be like, how did this fat fucking balding fucking idiot manage to get a girl like this? You will not believe me, but I swear to God that I went on a few dates with this girl and then I decided that I could not be around her in that way. I swear to God, hand on Jesus on the cross. This is a girl that I went on a couple of dates with, right? Again, I have to make sure that I can cover over the no, that is not what I wanted. Fuck. This whole thing is getting pretty stupid. But bada bing, bada boom. Okay. All right. Oh, you know what? Right. Most attractive woman I've ever had the pleasure of dating. We went on one or two dates, I want to say. And when I say dates, I mean it was kind of just us hanging out, but like, it was we were trying to get to know each other. We were basically talking on that level. And we were just not compatible at all on the inside, right? Just her attitude, the way she conducted herself and things like that. And she's like a really nice girl. I really do like her. She and I still talk every now and again. We shoot each other a message from time to time. Like this is someone who like I look at her and I'm like, fuck. Damn. Fuck. That's what goes through my head when I look at this chick, right? But the second I remember it's her, I'm like, oh yeah, if I had to spend 5 years around her like I spent 5 years around my wife, who is also very pretty, mind you. I love the fuck out of my wife, and I love her body and her looks as well, right? Um, if I had to spend 5 years around her, I would be like, it would just constantly be fights because she would constantly be getting on my nerves about everything. You know, it's kind of one of those situations where it's like, get away from me, stay away. You know, that's how it would be, and I saw that coming, and because of that, I didn't ghost her completely, but I kind of did that a little bit, and she got the hint, and she moved on, you know, um, and she never asked me because, like I said, we're still friends. You know, she never asked me what happened, so I never had to explain to her. But if she ever asked me, I'd be like, "Look, there was a couple of things that happened that the way you reacted to them and the way you acted, I was just like, whew, no, like, we will not go well together. I will constantly be yelling at this person. I know I will. You know, I'm a little bit high strung in the first place, and the way that this person acts is a way that's going to get on my nerves, you know? So it's kind of one of those things where it's like I don't actually believe that men prioritize this and this in the way that this guy is trying to act, right? Um, it like yeah, sure, guys will fuck whatever, you know. Oh, excuse me, you know, guys will fuck whatever when it comes down to it, but when it comes to who we actually want to be around after we're done nutting, it's going to be someone who has an intelligence and a character that we feel lines up to some degree, you know. Um, So yeah, there's that. You know, this is a 4chan quiz. Where did you find this? Fucking somebody sent it to me. Like I want to say 2-3 weeks ago. They said, "Oh, it'd be funny if you did this." You know. Um. I now that I think of it, it if it was on 4chan, that makes sense because I have. It's not like people who are dedicated to sending me shit. It's like there's a couple of people who they spend time on the FDL thread, and every now and again they'll send me something that they think is funny, usually pertaining to me, and they sent me that quiz. So it makes sense that this is a 4chan quiz. It makes sense, you know. Um. Anyway, so here we go. Which relationship is most likely to last for the long term? The man likes the woman much more. The man likes the woman a little bit more. The man and the woman like each other the same. The woman likes the man a little bit more. The woman likes the man much more. You see, I knew it was going to be one of these two, and I was just like, fuck it, we'll go with that one. Um, yeah, like, and the thing with that is that women are very emotional, right? Men are logical. So if a woman loves you more than you love her, you're in good shape because she's gonna be willing to she's gonna be willing to stick with you through whatever's going on, you know. I don't even. Oh yeah, there's no fucking way I'm gonna read through all that bullshit, you know. This was probably ripped from a 50+ alpha only Facebook group. Pretty much it probably was. Challenge part 2. What is the maximum you should tell your wife or fiance I love you? I mean, my wife and I tell each other that multiple times a day. You know, I'll wake up in the morning, I'll go to work. You know, she works at night. That's why she's not here right now. You know, fucking, I'll give her a kiss on the cheek and I'll be like, love you, and she'll be like, love you. We'll usually talk some shit to each other out the door as well. You know, we'll call each other names while we're leaving. We'll be like, I love you, bitch. You know, then like I'll get to work and I'll be like, I got to work, I love you, baby. And she'll be like, okay, baby, I love you. And then she'll tell me when she's leaving for work, and she'll be like, I'm leaving for work, baby, I love you. Like literally every update there's an I love you, you know. So I'm gonna go with what I do, right? And when this guy ultimately is like a few times a week, I'm gonna tell him to shut the fuck up. A few times a year. Oh boy. Oh, okay, all right. Well, we'll read the first two. The phrase "I love you" can easily be the most worthless thing you say. Many guys will say this when they mean "I screwed up, please forgive me," or "please have sex with me." Don't ever do that. It's manipulative and cringy, and women see right through it. You should only say this when you feel the timing is right, when it's a special moment, or if she's going into surgery. Don't be predictable and boring, and don't overuse it. The more you say it, the less value it has, and you aren't being a challenge. I've been with my wife for 5 fucking years. I'm not trying to challenge her. If she was trying to challenge me, I'd be like, yo, shut up. Shut the fuck up. Leave me alone. Like, this is a guy. People said this was taken from a 50 plus Facebook group. No, this was taken from a Reddit group. I think it was the first time I was on PKA. Woody was talking about Reddit comments and things like that, and how a guy was like, hey, my wife put on weight. How do I help her to lose the weight? And somebody was like, well, maybe she put on weight because she doesn't feel appreciated. What you should do is you should write her a love note every single day. Like, that's like the type of shit, right? Obviously not the exact same type of shit. I think they were talking about like 2 X chromosomes or something like that. This is clearly like I'm a Redditor, but I'm not like one of those kinds of Redditors. I'm one of the good kinds of Redditors types is what this is, you know? Like, again, over intellectualizing, overthinking, not just being like a human being, but trying to be like a set of principles, you know? That's the issue with a lot of people, is that they're not trying to be human beings, they're trying to be a set of principles. And that's one of the worst things that happen with the internet is you used to be able to be a human being with principles that you would do your best to act out. But there was no expectation that you would be perfect. But with the internet and the way everything became about like totally based and red-pilled, owning the libs with facts and logic, like the way everything became about that, you're not allowed to be a human being anymore. You have to be a set of principles, you know? It's like the people who got upset at me for the Haley thing, right? For the bathroom joke. Like, I'm the first one to admit that I'm not a perfect person, and in fact, I'm the most imperfect person that I know of, because I know myself better than I know anybody, right? I never made a claim to perfection, and Christianity is not about perfection. In fact, it's about imperfection, if anything. That is the entirety of the human condition, is falling short of the grace of God. And there was a lot of people out there who, like, they got mad because I decided I was going to play a prank with, like, somebody who was totally cool with going along with the prank, you know? I'm not allowed to be a human being who tried to make people laugh and tried to have like a good time and tried to play a prank. I have to be a set of principles, and if I'm not a set of principles, well, then I must be a bad Christian or something like that, as if there's a such thing as a good Christian in the first place, right? But this is a great example of that, where it's like you're telling me I can only say I love you a few times a year. And the onus, like the reason behind it is that I'm supposed to what, like every morning wake up and have coffee ready, like breakfast in bed for my wife, instead of just telling her I love her or something like that. Like, fuck off. Shut the fuck up. You know? My wife is probably on her way home now. I want to read through these. When she gets home, I'm probably going to have her look at this too. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, this shit's just so stupid. Don't verbally bare your soul to a woman more than a few times a year, guys. Even if you were married, it ruins the spell of attraction. Stick with flowers and cards, and use funny cards sometimes, not just mushy ones. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. The spell of attraction. The fucking spell of attraction? What are you talking about, dude? Challenge, part 3. In the first few months of a relationship, what is an example of a man signaling a challenge to a woman? Agreeing with all of her opinions, even if you really don't, sharing all of your personal information and life story, requesting a weekend date, calling her the day after you got her number, buying her gifts, flirting via phone or text, none of the above. Slow it down. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. Unknown. Wow, he's so absent. Nobody actually knows. Nobody actually knows. Nobody actually knows who he was. Do you know that the man on the cover image? Oh, do you know what the man on the cover image is doing? You can go back and look. The quiz saves your progress. Wow. He is waiting at least 3 days before calling a woman to set up a date. If he isn't sure that she has high interest level in him, he waits 5 to 9 days to try to raise it. He knows you can't take things too slowly with women and cats. All right, cool. So withdraw. So withdraw. I mean, it's a proven method. I really don't have that much to say about that, but he is trying to make it into a he is kind of trying to make it into a an intellectualized thing when really you're just not being clingy. That's all you're doing. Where should you look when talking or listening to a woman? What are you talking about, bro? What are you fucking talking about, dude? This is the right one. This is the right one. What the fuck are you talking about, dude? Damn it, bro. Fuck you. You idiot. Her eyes. Dude, I always look women in the eye. I look at them like this. I go, hello, you have really nice eyes. Uh-huh. Yeah. Wow. Totally. That's crazy. Wow. I can't believe it. She really said that? Wow. Wow. That is... What a jerk. You know, I really don't think they value you. I don't think they value you there. I think they really need to like shape up, because I don't think they realize what they have with you as a worker. I don't think they know. I don't think they understand that like you are really holding that place up as though you're one of the pillars, you're one of the support beams of that place. And if something happened with you, if you left, you would be like they would be absolutely positively screwed. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. That's how I look at women. I just look at them unblinkingly. Fuck, I gotta blink at this point. Anyway, at the same time, you suck their life essence. Exactly. That's what it is. Joe Buttslasher says feet, onlyfeet.com. Oh, holy fuck. Am I racist for thinking Scott looked like Copper Cab for a split second? I mean, I think I look like Copper Cab just a little bit. But yeah, anyway. Other women. There's no excuse for checking out other women if you're with your girlfriend or wife. My wife and I, like, not in a Reddit way. Not in a Reddit way. Or anything like that. Not in a Reddit way. But, like, I can talk to my wife and be like, wow, that woman's really pretty, isn't she? And my wife will be like, oh yeah, she is. Really nice figure. Anyway. Touching a woman on her arm or leg shows high confidence, lack of challenge, and self-control. Well, it depends on the situation. This is kind of bullshit, you know? It depends on the situation. I'm going to go high confidence just because I think it's going to be funny whether or not it's right. All right. I figured that's what it was going to be. You want a woman with high self-esteem and boundaries, and she will be turned off by your over-eager touching. If you will be seen as needy or entitled, not confident. Fucking you mean if I walk over to a woman and I just to her arm, if I'm just like, hey, how you doing? I'm just like, hey, how's it going? I pair that with the Oh, thank you very much. The jester. Oh, fuck. That was from 4 days ago. Whoops. All right. I'm gonna damn. I'm gonna have to read something from 4 days ago. Anyway, fucking I'm gonna sit here, right? I'm gonna what I like to do with women is I like to walk over to them and I just go, hey, how's it going? I'm Scott. It's nice to meet you. Yeah, you know you have really pretty eyes. Do you come here often? Yeah, I know it's the Little League field. I'm here watching my little cousin. Who are you here with? Is that your kid out there? Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Do you like baseball? Do you like baseball? I used to play baseball. Do you like baseball? I'm just death grip. Just death grip on her shoulder. Like red and white. She's like that. better yet, the fucking the back of the neck. I just walk over. I'm like, hey there, hey, hi, I'm Scott. Hi, hi. It's nice to meet you. Hi. What are you doing here? What are you here? What are you here for? What are you doing here? Uh, you're really pretty, man. Grab their attention and establish your position. Exactly. This guy's a beta male cuck. He doesn't know how to grab a woman's attention. Etiquette. Which conversation topic does not turn off most women? Raunchy humor and guy jokes, heavy or depressing world news, your wealth or intelligence, your problems or insecurities, your family or pets, your ex-girlfriends, or previous relationships. Talk about her. Women have a hard time talking about anything but themselves and what is going on with them. Right? Oh, your family, your pets, problems or insecurities, right? I'm wondering which one of these it's going to be then, because truth be told, the only one I would talk about is my family and pets, and even then it's like I don't know if I would lead with, "Hey, hi, I have a brother." Hey, hi. What are you doing here? Hey, hi. I have a brother. He's 20, he's 27. He likes to skateboard. Do you want to go out sometime? Yeah, that's how I'm going to do it. All right, cool. First, listen, even a fool is counted wise when he holds his peace. Proverbs. Listen more than you speak. Remember, you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. I agree with that 100%. One thing I am extremely, extremely sick of over the last couple of months, especially, is when somebody asks me a question and I go to answer it, and then they interrupt me to try and get their answer in, you know? I can't tell you how many times I've wanted to scream at people, including in fish tank places. Like I hop into a fish tank Discord because they want to interview me, and there's some guy who's like, "Hey, so what do you think about this jujitsu move?" And I start talking about it. I'll be like, "Oh yeah, I think it's a pretty good move for this." And then they're like, "Yeah, it's good for this and that and this and that and this and that and this and that and this and that too, right? And it's really good for that, and I really like it for this and blah blah blah." And it's like, "Oh, all right. So you didn't want to hear me tell you my thoughts. You wanted to hear your thoughts repeated through me, and you couldn't even have the patience to see if I did that. You just had to take the floor back away from me so that you could talk like a fucking autist over me after you asked me the fucking question." All right then. That shit's annoying. Don't fucking do that to people, you know? But yeah, no, for sure. But I mean, even then, it's like I'm not gonna talk about maybe my pets as an icebreaker, right? But not my family. Like that's kind of what threw me off, is your family or pets. I was like, yeah, but like, I mean, everybody loves pets usually, but family. Hey, hi. My mom's a bitch. I'm gonna open up with that one. I'm gonna open up with that one. My mom fucked me up. Etiquette. Apologizing. If you screw up something important, what you should do: apologize many times and beg for forgiveness. Apologize once and moved on. Deny that it happened. That's a big one. I like that one a lot. Laugh it off. Blame it on somebody else. Apologize once and move on. I know I've listed a lot of rules so far, and it's impossible to get every rule right all the time. Great news. Failure gives you a chance to demonstrate different strength qualities. Apologize only once. Admit fault and responsibility. This shows honesty, and do it with gravitas. Gravitas is an old Latin word which means seriousness and dignity, and was a Roman virtue of leadership. This applies to all areas of your life: women, relationships, and business. The more you say something, the less value it has. Apologizing over and over is weak and doesn't show self-control or self-esteem. Look up the words servile and subservient. One definition is the cringing manner of someone who is very conscious of having a subordinate position. Yuck. Neither a man or woman should be subservient. After you apologize, shut up and focus on a reaction. A good woman is patient and forgiving as long as she knows you are doing everything you can to make things right. Every screw up will lower her interest level a little bit, and nobody likes having to apologize, so don't let it become habit. P.S. Did I say habit or habit? It was habit, obviously. P.S. Remember that women will test you, see if you still have test you to see if you still have a backbone. So if you aren't guilty, don't apologize. Yeah, like I don't find anything too crazy about this. The other thing I'll say is that you have to learn from your mistakes and things like that, you know. And that's something a lot of people don't do is they'll apologize, but fucking they don't learn from their mistakes. They don't change the behavior. A lot of behaviors are not things that just happened once. They come from a deep-seated maladaptive pattern that comes from the very workings of somebody's psyche. The inner workings, the inner machinations of the mind, of the conscious, the conscience, whatever you want to call it, right? Consciousness or conscience is what it would be better used. But anyway, you get the idea of what I'm saying. One of the things that I will say, right, is that every screw up will lower her interest level a little bit, and nobody likes having to apologize, so don't let it become habit. And you see, this right here gets to the crux of the issue, and this is why people have a hard time debunking MGTOW. MGTOW is kind of considered to be like boomer and like early millennial cringe now. You don't see a lot of guys who are like under the age of 30 who are like, I'm a MGTOW. That's not really something you see a ton of. But MGTOW gets one thing right in that when it comes to women, it's almost like there's a sand. There is sand that is slipping through an hourglass, right? It's like I wish I had an hourglass to like show, right? It's like when you flip over the hourglass and the sand is going through, right? That's kind of what relationships are. At some point, that sand is going to get through to the bottom, and the timer is going to be run out, and now that's it. That's it. The way this guy is kind of describing the relationship, it is almost a definite that this woman is going to get tired and leave, even if she's married. And that shows the absolute state of both women as well as the relationship pool or just the way marriages are run, the way marriages work and things like that. The absolute state of it is just like disgustingly fucked up. And it's terrible, And there's guys like this who are trying to tell you that he knows the right way to go about it. You're going to be successful, even though it's going to fail eventually. I'm the guy who can tell you how to be successful. Just fall on the knife, bro. Just fall on the knife. It's okay. You're a beta male if you don't fall on the knife. You see, you're a beta male if you don't go into a relationship that you know is going to end in any way other than one of you dies. Fucking, it's just so foolish. Anyone here good at kicks? I'm pretty good at kicks. Anyway, etiquette, arguing. If a woman is nagging you or putting you down, what should you do? Tell her to shut the fuck up. Leave the room, laugh it off, change the subject, point out her flaws, threaten her, slap her, ask her to stop. And you see, again, this is kind of where, like, it's especially starting to try. All right. It's trying to tell you, right, that there is an answer to something that does not have an answer. If a woman is nagging, she's just gonna nag, and there's literally nothing you can do about it. The only thing you can do is try and leave the room, to which she's going to follow you, right? Fucking, it's just, women don't take L's, right? Women create L's for themselves that they grow and grow and grow and grow until a point where, like, they're a cat lady at the age of like 35 or like some other sad shit, right? But in the moment, they don't take L's. They nag and they nag and they nag, and if you walk away, they're just gonna be like, oh, he thinks he's gonna walk away. That's what ends up happening, right? I'm very lucky. My wife does not nag. And in fact, like, my wife kind of has the opposite problem where she's not very good with communication. Me, I'm very good with communication. And that sometimes causes arguments because we need to talk about things and she shuts down, right? So I'm lucky that I don't have a nagging wife at the very least. But when women feel like they have a right to be bitchy, they are bitchy unapologetically. They revel in it, and nothing you do is the right answer. You basically just have to wait for them to be done. And I'm not saying that's like the best thing ever. No, it's actually a really bad thing. It's fucked up that that's the way that things are, but it's the way things are. What you gonna do? You know? My wife would usually be home by now, actually. She sent me a voice message. I just want to make sure. Oh, okay, alright. Anyway, so let's go ahead. Confidence. A woman in a romantic relationship should act as your mother, therapist, nurse, all of the above, none of the above. Let me guess. None of the above. Oh, wow. All of the above. Therapist, nurse. Oh, okay. All right, I see what it is. Yeah, we're not reading all of that. I mean, nurse makes a little bit more sense. Nurse makes a little bit more sense now that I think of it. You know, a nurse is a nurturing sort of a nurturing sort of you know, it's you know, it's nurturing. It's nurturing, right? Anyway, interest level, which is not a reason why a woman with low interest level goes on a date. She wants a free meal. She hates being alone. She wants to get back at her ex. Her self-esteem was too low to say no. She wants to spend time with you. She is bored. All right. So that was pretty obvious. Activities, which is the best date activity? Shooting pool, watching a movie, watching a sports game, cheap restaurant, fancy restaurant. I mean, I've never gone wrong with fucking pizza. Watching a movie, shooting pool. Oh, okay. All right. Anyway, the best date activities are active. You are not sitting on your butts. This loosens your body up, which loosens up your mind, and you can easily read her body language. You can alternate between looking at each other or looking at something else. As you date, get a read on what she likes to do and pick plenty of those activities, but also surprise her once in a while with something different. Keep her guessing. Don't be 100% predictable and take a chance at something. I really don't have a big problem with that. I'm curious what attitude games is supposed to be though. It's great to do games of skill and chance like shooting pool. You can make a bet on a single shot, and no matter what happens, you can joke about it afterwards. Are both of you gracious in victory and defeat? Who is the most competitive and stubborn? If a plan is an epic fail, handle it with class, patience, and humor, which will raise her interest level. Pay attention to how you handle setbacks together. Does she have a soft voice, and does she stay sweet and supportive, or is she loud and bitchy? You'd better figure out how you work as a team now, because life never stops throwing curveballs. Yes, on the first date, you need to have this all figured out, right? I mean, it just says date activity. It just says date activity. So it's like, all right, okay, all right, fine, you know, whatever. Maybe you could do some of these for like the third or fourth date or something like that. You bond with women and see their attitudes by doing stuff, not just feeding your face. Ideally, join clubs that do activities or sports. If there isn't a club, start one. Yeah, I'm gonna start a fucking club with a girl that I just met. Yeah, that's a good idea. But you know, other than that little line right there, it's like, all right, whatever. It's all good. You know, I don't think that's bad. I don't think that's bad. Look, loosen up that pussy, says Joe Butt Slasher. Marriage and divorce in the USA. Who most often files for divorce? Initiates it. Women file 80% of divorces. Delusional women. Okay. Hold on. The maintenance schedule. Do you know what happens to your car if you don't change the oil every year? Your engine will be destroyed in 5 to 10 years. We all know that a complex piece of equipment needs a maintenance schedule to stay running. If you have an electric car, you still need the brakes and tires serviced. Women are not men, and women need a maintenance plan of respect, affection, romance, and humor. Figure out what her love language is and do that for your anniversary, Valentine's Day, and her birthday. Yeah, and you see this kind of goes hand in hand with the whole don't tell her you love her all the time thing. It's like, yeah, I'm going to wait till Valentine's Day, her birthday, and just our anniversary. Those are the 3 times I'm going to do something nice with her. Other than that, it's whatever. She wants to go on dates or trips once in a while to feel cherished and not taken for granted. She wants breaks from the monotony and stress of daily life, especially if she has young children. One reason marriages fail is because the guy stopped doing what he did in the dating phase. The guy didn't realize that what he did to get her is what he needed to do to keep her. If she's not getting enough attention from you, connection and appreciation, she'll get it from elsewhere. Social media simps, male coworkers, hookup sites, and cheating. So it's my fault. So it's my fault. We have kids. We have young kids, and I gotta work my ass off just to take care of those kids. And it's my fault if she decides to do any of that fucking bullshit. Yeah, okay. Delusional woman. A second reason marriages fail. This is the first reason. This is the main reason marriages fail. Let's be honest here. A second reason marriages fail is because the woman married someone hoping he would change. For example, a macho or abusive guy who she thought would quote unquote soften up or mature as he got older. Maybe she married a wimp and he never grew a backbone. And you see, this is one of those things where it's like, oh, actually, it's always the man's fault. The women are delusional, but they were delusional to believe that men would be good. You know, it's just, it's that shit where it's like, oh, are you an alpha male? An alpha male always recognizes that it's his fault that women are fucked up. You know, like that's what this is. Average. The average guy thinks women are complicated and unpredictable, doesn't know what turns women on or off, thinks he understands relationships but is clueless, gets advice from other men who whine and blame women for their mistakes. No, this is literally what women do. Right, baby?
I don't know.
Baby, you remember when you and I first met and I walked over to you, right? I walked over to you and I grabbed you by the back of your neck like this and I just stared into your eyes like that, and I was like, hey, hi. My mom fucked me up. Yeah. My mom's a piece of shit. You're from Brazil? That's pretty cool. My mom's a fucking asshole. You remember when I did that?
Yeah.
That's when you knew you loved me, right?
Oh yeah. That's when I fell in love.
That's exactly it. Was it the unbreaking eye contact, or was it the fact that my grip got tighter and tighter every few seconds? Which one?
The grip.
The grip?
Yeah.
It was the grip. It was the grip. I'm taking a quiz right now. It's supposed to be one of those alpha male quizzes, and like, oh, jeez, my fucking thing was open. I didn't even realize I popped it open by mistake. Yeah, I'm taking one of those, and so some of the shit on here is pretty fucking stupid.
I'm sure.
Yep. Anyway, so the average guy thinks women are complicated and unpredictable, doesn't know what turns women on or off, thinks he understands relationships but is clueless, gets advice from other men who whine and blame women for their mistakes, will have a marriage that lacks intimacy and connection, all of the above. Not me. Not even a little bit. I'm the perfect husband, right? Right, baby?
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, sure, whatever you say. Fuck, what was I gonna say? Yeah, but like women aren't hard to understand. They're just hard to like deal with, you know. Like like a lot of people they think the same thing about narcissists and sociopaths, and I actually do have a theory that women are probably more given to narcissistic and sociopathic behavior, for the simple fact that they're like encouraged to be that way, you know? I mean, this dude literally in the first thing he said, women lie and that's okay. Women lie and that's okay because you're a big scary man, and because of that it's a good thing that they lie. You know? Like that's the type of shit that this guy was saying. Oh yeah, baby. Your cake is somewhere. It's over there. Okay, can you get me the Sonia? Yeah. Thank you. Do you want to take the quiz, baby? You want to take the quiz? No, I don't want to listen to that bullshit.
No thanks.
To that bullshit. I just got done with work.
Exactly.
Don't burden me with that bullshit. Anyway, what was I gonna say? But yeah. You all right? You okay? Oh, Snoopy, are you okay? I don't know if that was like, my dog keeps making this weird noise. I don't know if it's a sneeze or if it's a cough, and I get nervous whenever he does that. Like literally the other night he started doing it. I was asleep. I was dead asleep, and I started hearing it in my sleep, and I was like, I like woke up, sprung into action, grabbed him, picked him up, like, put him on the bed, and I was like ready to start giving him the doggy Heimlich just in case. But luckily he was fine. Luckily he was fine. But yeah, like women are not hard to understand. The issue is there's a lot of bullshit that is thrown our way, both as men as well as just like the way society likes to try and view the dichotomy between men and women. The way people like to believe is that, well, men are known for being rough and tumble and they fight. Men are the warriors. Men are the guys who fight each other. So fighting because people get hurt, well, that must mean that men are actually sort of like dirty and gross, and they're kind of dark. But women, they're light, and they're angelic, and they don't like to hurt people. And it's like, no, plenty of women love to hurt people. It's just their preferred methods are not always like physical. In fact, rarely are they physical, because they can do other things, to try and fuck with people. But women are not that hard to understand at all. And if you exercise 2 seconds of observation, you can see what they're gonna do 10 steps before they do it. And this right here, right? Your bonus education. Shut the fuck up. There's no grading. There's no grading or anything like that. Oh, completed the quiz with any score. All right, I suppose that's cool. Anyway, the oh boy. Sorry, I was just reading this real quick. But the problem with a lot of these things is that it tells you to ignore what is right in front of your face. It tells you to ignore what's in front of your face. Even if it takes part of what you're seeing and tries to explain it, it's still telling you to ignore it. It's telling you that there's some aspect of that is actually your fault. Women lie, and it's because you're a man, and so you don't have a right to be upset that women lie to you. You don't have a right to be upset when somebody lies to you. You don't have a right to judge someone negatively because they're a liar. Fucking no sir, don't do that. Don't do that, because then you're a wimp. You're a beta male cuck is what you are. This is just one of those things where it's like there's a guy who he's trying his best to take the reality, the quote-unquote red pill, and he's trying to bend it in a way that is going to justify his worldview, because this guy has a wife. He has apparently 2 sons, and he's probably sitting here trying desperately to believe that he will not be fucked over by his wife. That, no, it's totally cool. He did everything the right way. He's not a beta male cuck. He did everything the right way. He got married, and his wife is one of the good ones because he's one of the alpha males. He's the Chad move guy. And because of that, he's going to be fine. But the fact is, I mean, look at someone like Steven Crowder. He got divorced, and it was an ugly one. And apparently it was not all that it was cracked up to be. Apparently he was actually kind of fucking like a victim of this woman who then tried to turn around and act like she was the victim of him, you know? It's stupid, you know? Scott's making his self-defense course. Meanwhile, he needs to teach people to bag Brazilians, apparently. It's not that hard. It's not that hard, you know? Learn a couple of Portuguese words, and, you know, you're pretty much in there, honestly. like I'm not lying about that. Like, Latinas are the easiest because all you have to do is show them that you are interested in their culture just a little bit, and they melt for you. All of a sudden they're like, oh, the gringo knows, oh, haha, that's adorable, you know. You can't do it in a cheesy way though. Like if I rolled up to the first date with my wife wearing like hold on, fuck, are you fucking kidding me? Dude, really? Yeah, it's not. I gotta go to Google. I gotta go to Google, right? Fuck, dude. Damn it. All right, here we go. Here we fucking go. Anyway, right? If I rolled up to the first date with my wife dressed like a fucking mandrake, you know, which is what the style is called, or mandraka. If I had rolled up dressed like that, like, there's no way she would have wanted to be around me for more than 30 seconds, you know. But like, the fact that I was able to be like, oh yeah, I can say oi, como você está, tudo bem, bem e você, right? Like, the fact that I could break the ice with that made it so much easier for like me and my wife to get along, because she immediately was like, "Oh, that's cute. Here, let me teach him more." That literally gives you like an in, because Latinos like their culture, whatever culture they happen to come from, whatever country they happen to come from. They like their culture, they like their language, they like their music and things like that. And if you show an interest in their culture, they'll teach you more about it, and because of that, they'll want to be around you and they'll think it's adorable, etc., etc. Right? Um, you know, like that girl that I showed you earlier, you know, the girl that I had to spend like 10 minutes fucking editing the photo to make sure that you couldn't see like her face or anything like that. That's another girl who, she wasn't like fresh off the boat, but she was like, I think black, Puerto Rican and Irish. You know, her mom's white, her dad's like black and Puerto Rican or some shit like that. And you know, like, she's into like bachata and shit like that. She was into it at the time when I was dating her. You know, and she wanted to teach me about it, you know. The Portuguese that I know, I learned from the first Brazilian girl that I dated. I've dated 2 Brazilian girls, right? You can almost create a snowball. you can almost create a snowball effect. You know, all you gotta do is get one. You get one. You get one, and she teaches you one word, and you go on to the next one, and she teaches you another word. Now you know 2 words. Now you know 2 whole Portuguese words. Then you go on to the next one. You learn a third. You learn a third. You know? Man. Rip George Foreman? Nah, no fucking way. Nah. Nah, that's bullshit. You're bullshitting me. You're bullshitting me. Damn. You're not bullshitting me. Damn. Man. That really sucks, dude. Well, 76 years old. That's crazy. I don't even know what to say, you know? George Foreman was, George Foreman was a great boxer, and unfortunately, a lot of people only know him as the guy who lost to Ali. A lot of people don't even realize what he was able to do in the sport later on in the '90s when he was in like I think his 40s or 50s. I forget how old he was when he made his comeback, but the fact that he was able to win a heavyweight championship as old as he did was nothing short of stupendous. Was nothing short of legendary. You know. Something that even Muhammad Ali, like, he got the shit beat out of him by Larry Holmes, you know? It's funny, we have a habit of not looking at Ali's losses, especially the ones later in his career. And we also have a habit of looking at dudes like George Foreman and not understanding who and what he was in the sport throughout the entirety of the career. All a lot of people remember him for is, oh yeah, the Rumble in the Jungle, or maybe it was the Thrilla in Manila. I forget which one it was. That they fought. But George Foreman is, George Foreman was, George Foreman was like the antithesis of Muhammad Ali to a degree. Like he went to the Olympics, he won a gold medal, and instead of joining the Nation of Islam, instead of like supporting people who wanted to like kill Whitey and shit like that, he waved the American flag after he won the gold medal. And even into his old age, he said, if I could do that again, I would. I wouldn't go back, even with what was going on at the time in the country. I was still proud to be an American, and I wouldn't go back and, like, raise a fucking gloved fist or anything like that. I wouldn't be doing any of that stuff. I would still wave that American flag, right? This is a guy who, like, really was just, like, a salt of the earth, like, from the ground, American-made man. He ended up retiring from boxing after he had what I guess you could call a spiritual experience, maybe a near-death experience, who knows, after a fight, and he became a reverend. And then in the 90s, he came back. He actually fought one of my favorite boxers, Tommy Morrison, and Tommy Morrison was known for honestly kind of being a little bit like a white Mike Tyson to a degree. The way him and Tyson fought were kind of similar in a certain sense. And that was the one fight you saw Tommy Morrison running away from somebody, having to fight like really, really smart, really conservatively, really carefully. I don't even think Tommy would have fought Tyson in his prime the way he fought George Foreman when he was in his fucking 40s or 50s. Again, I forget. Well, I mean, 49, 59, 69, 79, 89. Yeah, he was in his 40s. He was in his 40s then. I think Tommy Morrison would have tried to lay it on Mike Tyson, but he had to run away from a 40-something-year-old George Foreman. He had no choice but to do that, and Foreman even fought, like, I'm pretty sure he fought Holyfield and shit like that, Fuck, I just realized on TikTok, people on TikTok are gonna be saying the grill inventor died. Oh yeah, I got a George Foreman grill in my fucking kitchen, But anyway, I mean, like, look at that. 81 fights, 5 losses. Fucking wow. That's insane. Sorry, I'm looking for, yeah. So, I mean, like, look at this. He lost to Shannon Briggs, right? He was 48 years old. Yeah, Tommy Morrison lost to him, all right, 44 years old. Fight after that, he fights Michael Moorer, won the WBA and IBF titles, fucking retained, and then lost to Shannon Briggs. Fucking, who else did he fight? Evander Holyfield. He fought fucking Holyfield. He lost, right? But and did he lose? He lost a unanimous decision. He didn't even get knocked out by Holyfield. That is the fucking craziest shit. I mean, just like look at all this. Look at all this, right? Just wins after wins after wins after wins, and all he's remembered for is the fight with Muhammad Ali. That's it. And then he goes on and on. He loses to Jimmy Young. Don't really know who that guy was necessarily, but Maybe we can check that fight out at some point. Again, just wins after wins, and then during his comeback, right? Man. That's just crazy. Shit, man. That sucks. I kind of like if I got to meet Muhammad Ali, I would have been like, "Oh, cool, I got to meet Muhammad Ali." George Foreman is like of the guys from that era, George Foreman is the guy that I would want to meet because of the character that he showed, you know? Because of the ups and downs that he experienced, and he didn't always deal with them the right way, but he dealt with them and he grew from them, and by the time he made his comeback in the 90s, he was you know, he was the kind of man that I would hope to be, you know. Man. Man, oh man, you know. Benjamin Young says, I know Jimmy Young. Oh, yeah? What, are you related to him, Benjamin? Damn. That sucks. Yeah, I feel kind of the same way as I felt when Marvin Hagler died, where like it's somebody who like I always kind of told myself like one of these days I'm gonna meet this guy, I'm gonna ask him for his autograph, you know, like well I'm sure it'll happen one of these days. I'm sure it'll happen one of these days, and then bang, oh actually no, Marvin Hagler is dead. You know, he died. I still remember where I was when I figured out Marvin Hagler died. I was at a Friendlies in Massachusetts. I don't know how many of you guys have Friendlies around where you're at. It's kind of like a regional chain restaurant thing. I was at a Friendlies with my wife when he died, you know, and I remember checking social media to find that out, and I was like, oh fuck, man, you know. Oh. I wonder what the cause of death was. I don't know if um mm, yeah, there's no cause of death here yet, or personal life and death. Foreman was married to Mary Joan Martelli from 1985 until his death. He had 4 previous marriages to Adrienne Calhoun from 71 to 74, Cynthia Lewis from 77 to 79, Sharon Goodson 81 to 82, and Andrea Skeet. What a name, from 82 to 85. Foreman had 12 children. You guys ready for this one? 5 sons and 7 daughters. His 5 sons are George Jr., George III, Monk, George IV, Big Wheel, George V, Red, George VI, Little Joey. On his website, Foreman explains, I named all my sons George Edward Foreman so they would always have something in common. I say to them, if one of us goes up, then we all go up together. And if one goes down, we all go down together. As with his father, George III has pursued a career in boxing and entrepreneurship. George IV appeared on the 2nd season of the reality television show series, whatever, American Grit, where he placed 7th. I've never heard of this before. His 7 daughters are Natalia, Leola, Frida, Michi, Georgetta, because of course, Isabella, and Courtney. Natalia and Leola are from the first marriage to his daughter. I'm just curious, right? I figured it was gonna talk a little bit more about that, you know. Again, like in recognition of Foreman's patriotism and community service, the American Legion honored him with its James V. Day Good Guy Award during its 95th National Convention in 2013. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. He's a heckin' wholesome chungus. Foreman died on March 21st, 2025 at the age of 76. Yep. Man. George Foreman was on an episode of King of the Hill. Really? Was he? That's pretty sick. I mean, he's a Texas legend. You know, he is kind of a Texas legend. So it makes sense that why am I having a hard time remembering the name of the King of the Hill guy? Either way. TikTokers are going to confuse him with George Floyd. Oh, fuck. I hope not. I sure hope not. Man. That sucks, bro. That really sucks. Well, rest in peace. You see, I almost fucking said it by mistake. Rest in peace, George Foreman. You know, that sucks. You know, Sam, Sam watched a lot of George Foreman, and I watched George Foreman getting ready to train Sam, because he and George are very similar the way they're built. Also, the age that they were fighting at was more similar, you know, because heavyweights can fight for a little bit longer because they don't need as much speed necessarily. You know, you can compensate with a lot of power and certain strategies and things like that. But Sam is obviously, it's not like he's 22, so he can't move the way that like someone in their early to mid 20s is gonna move. Even if he's not like a fucking ancient, you know. I think he's like 40 or 41 at this point. When I started training him, I think he was like 37, 38. Excuse me. But yeah, like Sam told me he really likes George Foreman, so I started watching George Foreman and I started teaching him stuff that I picked up from George Foreman. And you can see certain things like the way Sam frames, the way he uses his arms and things like that. You know, he'll use upper body wrestling and stuff like that. Like Sam was always annoying to spar with because he was pretty athletic for his size and his age. But like the more I taught him, the more we went over and the more he watched George Foreman's movements and, you know, the little maneuvers he pulls and stuff like that, the worse and worse it got trying to spar with him because he knew exactly like how to, like, he just had more stuff that he had to deal with, you know, or that I had to deal with. He had more moves, he had more little tricks up his sleeve and stuff like that, you know. Man. Anyway, just joined. How did the quiz go? Went pretty good, smart moron. Went pretty good, you know. There's a signed spray bottle for $50. Oh man, that's pretty wild, Joe Butt Slasher. Ooh, excuse me. I was supposed to play Postal 2. I was supposed to play a little bit of Postal 2, and that just did not happen. So you know what I think I might do? I think I might play a quick game of AoE. Okay? I think I'll play a quick game of AoE, and then I'm going to call it quits. All right? You know, one for George. One for George. That's what we're going to have to do. I also, before I do that, I want to check with my wife because I just want to make sure something. All right. Yeah, I'm good. I'm gonna play a quick game. I'm not sure if I should do a 1v1 or if I should go 4v4. I feel I should probably just stick to 1v1. Yeah. I'm all set with migration. I like the greatest heavyweight game on Sega Genesis. I never played that game. I never had a Genesis. My first console was a PS1. Then I had PS2, I had a Wii, I had a 360. Then I had a PS4, and then I decided to become a part of the the PC aristocracy, the PC master race. Hmm. Sorry, I'm looking at this knockout that happened. See, fucking, I'm literally gonna be like, oh, look at that. Right. Like, I don't know how well you guys can see, right? I'll go ahead and I'll go here, right? This is like the worst way to try and show you anything, you know, obviously, right? But like BKFC is crazy. Like I'd fight for them if they came the way I'm thinking about fighting right now, right? Um I don't feel a need to try and like fight to go somewhere. I don't feel a need to have a career anymore. In fact, I'm realizing that like, you know, a career is a pointless thing to have at this point. I'm 30 years old. I could try and cobble something together and who knows, maybe I could make it to the UFC. Oh, maybe. I don't know. But regardless, it's just not the priority that it was when I was in my early 20s. You know, I'm trying to settle down, have kids, start a business and things like that. But if BKFC came to Boston, you know what? I'd see if I could get on a card. You know, but like outside of that, like that would kind of be like a swan song sort of thing is kind of the issue. Like it would be like a swan song more so than it would be like, oh dude, now's my chance to get to be good, to do bare knuckle, right? Um and like I said, I would fight for BKFC, but one of the things that I find to be like annoying and stupid is the way that they do their matchmaking to be like all fucked up, you know? They purposefully make for mismatches to cause exciting KOs and um fucking like to try and build stars off of that, you know, and it's just so stupid. Like maybe that guy just got caught early on and then he was just like doomed, you know, maybe that's what happened, who knows. But to me that looked like there may have been a bit of a mismatch there, you know. The other thing is a lot of people don't know how to actually fight bare knuckle, and I'm working on a course right now that's for street fighting. Depending on how that goes, right? I have a strategy that I'm going to employ for like marketing and stuff like that. I'm not just going to be marketing it to you guys, all 35 of you, hoping you're going to pay however much I charge for it, right? Um, hold on, just in case. Sorry, want to make sure I win this after all. Um, I'm literally like I'm going to market it in like a general sense. I'm going to be buying ad space on different places. You know, and I'm not testing things out necessarily. That would imply that I have ads up and that I'm doing something with them. But I'm toying with different ideas, including honestly with fucking 4chan. You know, I'm thinking maybe I could find a way to appeal to the dudes that like to hang out on 4chan. 4chan, what the fuck? Um, and I don't even mean like FTL. I mean just 4chan in general. Like, if I think it'll work, why not? Right. There we go. But the other thing that I'm thinking of doing is one more specific, or I guess you could say advanced, quote unquote, street fighting tactics, as well as bare knuckle boxing techniques and tactics. You know, because even before bare knuckle was a thing, I'm a martial arts nerd. I'm a fighting nerd, you know. And not the bad kind of fight nerd. The kind of fight nerd that wants to know, like, hey, what's the best way to use my elbows to break somebody's hand, you know? There was a bunch of different stuff that I had always kind of been aware of from years of doing a bunch of different kinds of martial arts, but then also experimenting on my own. And I know that there's stuff that I could teach, that I could show people that is good to do. Again, when I'm sparring with Sam, you can even see me do some of that stuff, like the way I elbow block from the Philly shell, and other things like that, you know? We talking self-defense or no-holds-barred fighting? I mean, there really isn't a difference between the two. You know, I'll show you guys the beginning of the first like actual technique video after this, right? I'm not gonna show you the whole technique video, but I'll show you a little bit of it, because I have the first video done, the first technique video that I'm going to show in the course that I'm working on. There's like 4 or 5 videos in the entire course. I have one of the first ones like almost completely done. I'll show it to you a little bit. Oh yeah, what's your general street self-defense strategy? It's kind of a weird way to think of it like that, but like I guess I do kind of have a general strategy. My general strategy is, 1, try to avoid situations, people, and places that I think are going to be fucked up, obviously, right? But then beyond that, it is to make it as unfair of a fight as I possibly can, as quickly as I can. I want to end up on top. I want to end up pushing a guy up against a wall. I want to be overwhelming him. I don't want him to have a fair shake. I'm not going to back off and allow him to walk off the wall and then start throwing at me. You know, this isn't a kickboxing match. This is something where I absolutely positively need to be controlling the entirety of the situation, you know? And there's a couple of different ways you can do that, you know? You gotta have a plan. Well, not really, you know? What's going on, David Hideo? You are playing the Celts? Yep, I'm playing the Celts. You know, because every situation's different. To say that you have to have a plan is kind of like, you know, there's a certain level of bullshito there, because like there might be one situation where there's a door that I have to contend with. There might be another situation where I have to look out for traffic, where I have to look out for traffic. We're by a busy street or something like that, you know. There's so many different things that could happen. There's so many different scenarios that I could be in. It's kind of hard for me to sit here and genuinely be like, oh, well, here's my plan, here's my strat, you know. Let him take his shirt and 12 gold chains off. That's always step number 1, I will say. That is always step number 1. There's this song by this guy, his name's Thumb Nugget. And I always think of him whenever I think of like chains and stuff like that, you know? Like gold chains. There's a line he says in one of his songs, he's like, 10 chains on. Bitch, I'm Thumb Nugget. And it's like, holy fucking shit, that is the dumbest line. It's so stupid you can't not like laugh at it. I'll show it to you after, because I don't think I'll get copyright struck by these guys. It's actually are you fucking kidding me, dude? Damn it. I lost. Oh fuck. I'm fucked now. I'm fucked. Oh well. Anyway, yeah, no, you know what? I'm gonna leave those guys here for now. But yeah, there'll be a couple of familiar faces in the song anyway. You know, there's Goldface Money Watch is in it. That's not too bad, I suppose. Yeah, you know what? I would rather go 1, 2. There we go. We got 4 to here. We got... Oh, son of a bitch. I'm fucking up in the game right now. I'm fucking up hard. I keep forgetting to do some basic shit that I'm supposed to be doing. That's alright though, what you gonna do? Oh. I just need to get, like, I can't have downtime like that. I'm already gonna have a bunch of fucking stupid things, you know? Alright, so... Not great, but we're not completely screwed, you know? What? How the fuck did he get in here, huh? Fucking idiot. Now I gotta get loom. That's so fucking stupid, bro. That is so stupid. I just lost another Vil. Fucking idiot. Fuck yourself. Ah, well, what you gonna do? See, if I can get the Castle Age, it's not gonna matter. If I can get the Castle Age first, you know, he's got Persians, so that's gonna be a pain in the ass. But if I can, yes, all right. Hopefully, I'm gonna get the castle first. Hopefully, I need 2 more right out the gate. Is part of my issue. Oh no, I'm fucked. Oh well. Oh well. I'd rather send him over there. Yeah, I had a shit start losing that Vil, and then I still don't know how that guy was able to get in. It was probably just luck of the draw. This guy went out, and he just happened to go whoosh, shoot in right there, you know? Okay. So I'm gonna make a defensive castle just to be sure. That yeah, he's gonna hop on those. I need to at least make sure I have one of these. You know, at least. What I'm also gonna do, actually, I'd rather send these guys here. I'll let him do his thing. Because I need that castle, and I'm still a little bit over 100 away. Oh, alright. See, that's exactly what I was afraid of. And in fact, he just reminded me that I have to do that in the first place. Are you kidding me, dude? Alright, there we go. What a fucking idiot, dude. And what's this guy doing? I have no relics near me.
Kia, Raboye,
Just
Raboye,
in case.
Tiediga,
1, 2. Yeah, it definitely ain't looking good. Yo, Scott, how do you feel about ketchup on hot dogs? I had a hot dog today. I had ketchup, mustard. I do ketchup, mustard, relish, onions. Sometimes I even do mayo.
Kia,
I gotta do it in a certain way, though. I can't do, like, all of it on top. I gotta do, like, mayo underneath, and then I'll do mustard ketchup on top of the hot dog. Alright, gonna go here. Let's see what we can do.
Raboye, Forgere, Raboye. Kid,
Nienige, Nienige,
Forgere,
You go there.
Forgere. Bid fear. Toe.
Funny. Dog shit situation. I'm not in a good spot. That's alright though. I'll try my best.
Raboye.
It's all we're ever doing anyway, right? What the fuck is this guy doing?
Toe. Tiediga, Raboye.
So I gotta send the pikeman too because chances are he's gonna have elephants.
Kid? Toe. Forget bid fear.
Alright. I'm gonna send these guys down there to blast. Yep, that's pretty much what I figured. Yeah, I don't think that's still there. Probably not still there, I would assume.
Toe. Erlov. Toe.
I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna try and blast in through this way, because chances are he's got all this protected.
Kid?
But he probably doesn't have too much of that protected.
Forget bid fear. Done cut.
Yeah.
Kid, bid fear. Toe.
Come on. Go, 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 go. Oh, dude. If that's all this guy has, he's fucked and he doesn't even realize.
Erlov, bid fear.
Erlov. Toe. Toe.
Kid, Raboye, Bunage.
Forget
Erlov, Raboye.
Kid? Toe paid. Toe.
Yeah, I have Woad Raiders and I have Pikemen. So I should be in pretty decent shape if he sends anything my way, you know? Mm-hmm. Right outside that door. Or are these guys a bunch of idiots?
Kia. Roboye.
Oh, what an idiot. And you two. Not the greatest situation right now, but you know, at least not to take this thing down. You know, I'm doing a lot better than I should be. You know, this guy's just not that good. I got off to a shitty start. You know, probably one of the worst starts I've had in a while, actually. Funny enough.
Kid. Roboye.
Kia, Roboye.
Erlov. Roboye.
Shouldn't have bought. You see, I'm just making shitty choices this game. I shouldn't have bought that much food. But I was like, no, fuck it. I want the food because I know I'll get gold quicker than I'll get food. You know, and if I'm gonna win this, I need to get the imp as soon as I can. I also am going to need to. Yeah. Tell me I'm gonna be able to make that one. I'm hoping I can sneak this castle in, because if I can sneak this castle in here, that's going to give me a lot of coverage here while I fucking, you know, amass troops and then send them at this thing. If I can take down this whatever it's called, this castle right here, I'm in really good shape. That makes me a little bit nervous, though. That does make me just a tad bit nervous. Just a teeny tiny bit nervous here.
Roboye.
Taking a big risk here. Got no military, and I'm literally gonna click up as soon as I get to 800 gold. So, yeah. In fact, I should make that military as soon as I'm done with this. Got him.
Kid. Roboye.
have such a fucking shitty economy. I'm going up to Imperial at 49. See, luckily I was able to do quite a bit of damage to his economy. His score is mainly going to be because of military right now. I'm willing to bet, you know. In fact, where is it at? Yep. 2.
Kia,
Rabuga. 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 Nienige.
Erlov, Raboge, Beat Fear.
Oh wait, actually no. Send them right there.
Erlov, bid fear.
I don't have enough gold to make those right out the gate. That's fine though.
Kia.
Kid,
Nienige. Rabuga.
Would have been better to make this a little bit earlier, but hey.
Forgere, Raboge, Bunage, Raboge, Bunage.
Once I get 4, I can start the attack. You know, at least 4 will usually take them down quick. Alright.
Kid? Tall. Tall.
Horrid economy. Oh, alright. Go get him. Ah,
Margaret. Fall paid. Bid fear. Kogo. Kogo. Fall paid. Tall.
hell yeah, we're gonna get it. We got it. Alright, good. It's like I said, that shit right there did make me nervous, but, you know, it is what it is. What you gonna do? Yeah. Nah, he still very well could win this, you know. He probably will. It's like I said, I had a shit start.
Kid, bid fear.
Kid.
Kia, Rebach, Raboge, Erla, Raboge.
Valgara.
Рабоге.
Oh man, dude, my eco is hooked. It shouldn't be this close though.
Harlev. Rabuga.
Yeah.
Форгера. Рабоге. Kid. Рабоге.
50. Mm-hmm. No, you idiots.
Kid, tall, Margaret, Duncan.
These guys are idiots. That's alright though. They're doing the job just well enough.
Bid fear.
Yeah.
Erlov.
Nienige. Var Athnuiga. Kia. Rabuga. Kid. Rabuga.
Oh, he's got another one. Mm-hmm. Oh well. As long as he's only got one. That's not gonna last too long, but you know, it'll last long enough, I hope.
Bid fear. Margaret, tall. Tall. Kid, tall. Go. Bid fear. Tall.
Ah, interesting. Wow, these guys fucking dumb. Nah, whatever. It's getting late. I don't feel like having to fucking. I don't feel like having to. I don't feel like having to like fucking be sweaty about it. You know, I had a shitty start. Fucking. I was either gonna eke out a victory or I was gonna lose that. I don't feel like fucking playing it through. You know, I'd rather just shut the game off, get out of here, and try and enjoy the rest of my night. My wife's got to wake up early tomorrow, so you know, I don't want to keep sitting here light on streaming and getting on her nerves when I'm not even having fun myself. So, yeah, no, it's not a warm up game, Benjamin Young. That was just the one game I was gonna do. You know, fuck him. But yeah, you were fighting for your life there, Scott. Yeah, that's why I didn't feel like having to be sweaty about it. You know, and it sucks too because I would have absolutely blasted the fuck out of that guy if I didn't lose that one villager and then the second villager when his guy snuck in, you know. Like I could have easily beat the fuck out of this guy, but it just, you know, I was just too far behind from losing those two villagers. It's excuse me, that's the way the game goes, you know. That's the way the game goes. Benjamin Young, why don't you play since you want to tell me how to play so much? Why don't you go play yourself? You seem like you want to play bad, so go ahead and do it. Is your merch still good or what? Yeah, I mean my merch is up on my store, you know, on my Teespring. You know, that should be in the description of this stream. You know, if you want to go ahead and check that out, feel free. I'm not, you know, I've been doing a bad job at trying to do the whole business side of YouTube thing for a while. It's because I have more pressing matters than trying to be an e-boy. I have more important things that I have to do, you know? So because of that, I'm not like, oh, hey, by the way, buy some merch. There's merch if you want it, you know? Oh, like and subscribe, please share my stuff, like and subscribe. I got too much on my plate to be trying to be an e-boy right now, so I just do these streams because it's habit and because I do enjoy it and because I want to eventually get back to a point where I have the free time to you know, be like, you know, fucking what I want to be with it, I guess you could say, you know, even though it's whatever, it doesn't really matter to me where this goes as long as I'm having fun with it. But yeah, long story short, I do have merch. It is, I'll go ahead and I'll show it to you. This is the merch. All right. I got stuff from season 2. This is also a season 2 thing that came a little bit later, Circumflex Fight Club. This is a thing that I made, you know, it's a you know, it's a Christian thing, if you want to call it that. If you want to call it that. But yeah, oh, my bad. I should actually show you. It's scottsullivan.creator-spring.com. Okay. I'll go ahead. I'll link that I'll link that in here. All right, there we go. So yeah, if you want to check that out, I appreciate that, you know. Yeah, so I'm gonna head out. All right, thank you guys. I appreciate you. Thanks for being here. I might stream tomorrow. It depends. Depends on a couple of different things. If not, you know, regardless, I will stream Sunday. So yeah, catch you guys later. Peace out.